We back. What's going on, everybody? It is Coach Greg Adams back in here with another YouTube live stream. Shout out to the Coach Gang.
And that's you.
For being here, being involved, and being active on this YouTube channel. And welcome back to the internationally known, the recognized symbol of YouTube and excellence in edutainment. It is Friday Night Live. Part of the Free Agent Lifestyle Podcast here on the Coach Greg Adams channel. You in here with the Bruce Wayne it is ish, the King of Kings, the King of Content, and the Speaker of Truth. Yours truly, the Notorious One, aka Mr. Coachellini, better known as the Prognosticator, Coach Stradamus. And you're in the Desert Storm bunker with Hollywood CGA, also known as EWF. That is every woman's fantasy in the whole fuck show. I'm the CEO, Negro of Fixes Binds LLC, the unbinder, the undebatable, the undisputed best entertainment here on YouTube. You can call me Senor Gregorio Graybeard. The ladies love to call me Mr. Third Leg Greg. Also the man with one throw-by-hole. That is the ecclesiastical Mitch Slapper. You're looking at the Anointed One.
Acknowledge me.
The founding father of the After Pill, the junior college sociologist, the Morpheus of the Mating Matrix, the Chocolated, Confucius, the Black Moses, the Deliverer, also known as the man that ecclesiastically walks in the spirit of Elijah. I'm the man with more nicknames than anyone in the game, but if in case you forget those names, just call me the Anointed One, Mr. James Bond, Molly Popo, Hentai CGA, Molly Popo, the Lord of the Lings, Ginga CGA, Greg DiBiase. But also you can call me the Benevolent Monarch CGAC, God Allah, and you're looking at the reigning, defending 14-time demonetized champion of YouTube. Got a great show for you lined up today. We're going to talk about how the Manosphere just embarrassed themselves to all hell with this Andrew Tate protest, and how the Manosphere at this particular point cannot be considered anything more than just an incel cult. All right. Of cult of incels, led by incels. We're going to give you some proof, some data, some things to think about, some things to chew on. And if you want to prove me wrong, and only if you want to prove me wrong, you can step right up to the plate, take off your mask, aim your camera straight at your face, and put your motherfucking grill on the face on the internet and talk to the Notorious One. We're only taking calls from people who disagree with CGA's take that the Manosphere is just an incel cult at this particular point. All right, we got a great show for lined up today, but to contribute to today's show, $ the Notorious CGA on the Cash App, Venmo, Coach Greg Adams TV, PayPal.me/Coach Greg Adams, and that is near the top of the description box on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel, and you can super chat. Well, that's the top of the Coach Greg Adams channel, and you can super chat by clicking the link on the live chat on the Coach Greg Adams channel. Okay. All right, so let me get this going here. We got a great show. Do me a favor, hit the like button. I'm doing a message here. Let me see here. But let me see here. Oh, I messed it up. All right. Yeah, man, we got a great show for you lined up. We were smoking a good hot pack of bitch ass niggas earlier on in the day stream, and I'm pretty sure these bitch ass niggas are going to come in here and then try to distract your boy. All right, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, let's get into it and see if there's any contributors to today's show. If not, we're going to get right into the business and tell you what goes on in here. How the Manosphere has morphed into a cult of incels. And it's hardly anything you cannot talk about. And somebody says right here, somebody said people are quick to make diss videos on CGA, but they will not hit the link to come up on today's show. And that's one of the things I'm proving with these pack of incels, because they're quick to get in the comment section. They're quick to cut diss videos. These incel content creators are quick to make a video on their channel, but soon as I drop the link, all quiet on the set. All right, all quiet on the set. They ain't got no motherfucking gumption. Cowards.
Look at this
bitch ass
Cowards.
nigga.
I mean, I can't respect a space called the Manosphere when these motherfuckers cower like bitches. All right. And it's sad. And I'm sad for the men. You know, let me just say this. I'm really sad for the men. Okay. Okay. Somebody says, how not wanting to put your face on the internet makes you a worse debater. Oh, okay. Okay. So look, see, this is what I'm talking about. Incels are already here. So they don't want to show their face right here. Look, Anon guy lurking. Is this a bot? This is the classic Manospherian. Oh, we don't want to put our face on the screen. How does that make us? That's a low IQ take. Some of our careers involve being low key. Look at this bitch ass nigga.
Look at this bitch ass nigga.
Look at him. Look at him, bro. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at these guys. The Manospherian cults are in here. Look at the incels. What do you notice about the incels commenting here? What do you notice about the incels? You don't see their face and there's no name. No name, no face, nothing. Typical Manosphere incel. They're going to prove my point. I love it. Please keep talking. Please do me a favor. If you want, I'm going to drop the link right now. We're going to drop the link right now. Come on up. And please, guys, do not come up if you agree. We're only inviting up the guys who disagree. No, if you agree, do not. I'm going to drop you down. I'm going to drop you down. Only the Manosphere incels that don't want to show their. Come on up. There it is right there. The link's right there. Come on. All right, here we go right here. Come on up. Only if you disagree. Only if you disagree, come on up. Do not come up if you agree. If you just want to be seen or heard, we're not listening to you. We're not listening to you. They mad already, and they're proving my point. They're proving my point. Come on up. Put your face on the screen, bitch niggas. Incels. Come on, incels. Come on, Rolo, Tomasi, Myron, whoever is behind these accounts. Come on up. Our careers depend on it. What career? Jiffy Lube? Jiffy Lube? Really? What career, nigga? Come on. Only if you disagree. We're not dealing with you bitch niggas. We're not dealing with you bitches no more in the Manosphere. No more bitches. No more Manosphere bitches. All right. Only, Michael Sertain's anonymous account. Yeah, these are the content creators. They're already ready to go. They're already reared up, ready to go. Come on. Put your face up here with CGA. I put my face up here for the last 10 years. Come on. Watch them. They're going to not do nothing because they're bitches. The Manosphere has been co-opted by incel bitches. That's it. They're going to prove me right just right now on this stream. They're going to prove me right when they don't pop up here. Come on. I'm waiting. I'm just sitting back. I don't got nothing planned to show you. I got about 3 videos to show you. I got time today. Come on.
Yeah, I got time, cuz.
Come on. They just want to be in the comment section. That's all they want to do. And that's all they got. They're incels. They're scared ass men. They're going to prove me right. They just want to be up in the comment section. I'm undefeated again. Undefeated. My whole series on this channel is attacking the incels and the manospheres. That's it. That's what we doing on this channel. That's what we doing on this channel. We're going in to expose these incels. We're exposing the incel manospherians because I know they're gonna cry. He says my whole point was that I feel like talking about Tate giving him more clout. You gave me a timeout, and my whole point was that I feel, bitch. You feel? Bitch ass nigga. Look at this bitch ass niggas. I feel like bitch ass nigga.
Look at this bitch ass.
When was the last
nigga.
time you heard me say I feel on my show? And I've been on the damn internet for 10 years. I've never said feel. I feel like bitch ass niggas.
Look at this bitch ass nigga.
Swear to God, these men, bro. I swear to God, these men. You say, I think, I know, I affirm, I believe, I've done research, I understand. This is what we do. I've been teaching you for 10 years. You said you were a fan, and you still out here slipping. How many times do I slip? Not that many times. And I'm on the internet hours and hours a day for 10 years straight. I don't be slipping like that, bruh. Trying to coach up these men, and we got Manosphere content creators that don't want to cam up. My career. All right, what content creator is this? Name the content creator that said my career is on the line. This is definitely a content creator. Ooh wee! I feel there's something in the air in the gay manosphere. Here we go. We gonna call these niggas out right here. But let me get some of these supporters here. We got a sponsor. Look at this. Instead of not camming up, how about send me a sponsorship, Mr. INCEL Manospherian? No government name says just a little something for the hard work. No government name, that's a sponsorship. Let's go. Oh, by the way,
I'm rich, bitch.
INCELs, your link is down right there at the bottom of the Coach Greg Adams live chat. Them INCELs got quiet all of a sudden. Did y'all ban them? Unban them INCELs. All right, hold on for a second. Unban them INCELs. Oh, here we go right here. Let me see if we can unban the nigga. Let me see here. I'm gonna put the message back up. All right, go to channel, replace pin message. Okay, hold on for a second. Let me see what it is. Let them INCELs in the chat. We need them. We're not internet clowns. Oh, okay. See, not a name calling. All right. All right. Now they just calling me names. Now somebody's going to say, Coach, you're calling them INCELs. Oh, okay. Well, wait a minute. That actually is a designated group of the Manosphere. All right. Now, are they bitch ass niggas by description? Yes. I'm just describing them. But an INCEL is a designated group of the Manosphere. Let's get into it. Just so you guys know what the Manosphere is. And I've been a part of the Manosphere. Let me tell my story real quick. I've been a part of the Manosphere, like learning from it, contributing to it since as early as 2015. So it's been over 10 years. And I didn't start cutting my first videos until 2016, 2017, but really 2017, and then evolving into it 2018, fully committing to it, right? But it has changed dynamically, especially with Gen Z. All right, Gen Z. All right, there's a guy back in the background. Put your lights on, my nigga. Like, I can't see you back there, bro. Get some lighting on your face. All right, you get coming out here hiding. But I've been a part of the space, right? Just knowing what was what, learning what it is, and it is morphed. Somebody said, why am I tearing down what I build? All right, hold on for a second. Guys, I built the free agent lifestyle. I didn't build down nothing in the Manosphere. I'm the free agent lifestyle. I'm not tearing it down. I can be without the Manosphere. Okay, I've thrived 2 years without the Manosphere. I've thrived 2 years without the Manosphere. I've thrived 2 years with every Manosphere content creator that thought they was relevant taking shots at me. Like, the only people really taking shots at me are Manosphereans. So they had a whole podcast of Manosphereans rebuking me on the white Manosphere. Myron Gaines, Andrew Wilson, Rollo Tomasi, Michael Certain, and some other bitch ass niggas. Like, that was what, a year and a half ago? Y'all forgot? Did y'all forget that they had a whole stream canceling me in the Manosphere? They kicked me out. Hold on for a second. You young hero. You don't remember they kicked me out after the Andrew Wilson debate? They had a whole stream and they announced they kicked me out. Who remembers that? That was like 2025. You forgot? Right? Y'all forgot. And it was right after the Andrew Wilson debate. And they literally were on stream in Las Vegas right after. I was there. I was in Las Vegas. They could have invited me, but they didn't. Press 1 in the chat if y'all remember, because y'all got some short memories. Yep, short memory ass niggas. Short memory. I can pull it up. right after the Andrew Wilson debate, they had to go ahead and give this nigga some tissue and have a counseling session right afterwards. And they were like, fuck that nigga CGA. Fuck CGA. Remember that? They was in there rebuking me. They was in there dissing me. I was like, oh shit. They don't forgot. They absolutely, y'all forgot. Now, let's go to the Black Manosphere. Didn't y'all watch two content creators do live streams and clip videos on me for weeks? Not once, for a week straight. A guy that did live stream. Now, I mentioned him first, but I only mentioned him in reference to one issue. And then he responded and I responded back. And then he proceeded to live stream continuously for about a week. And he has since not did a live stream to that day. He has not did a live stream to that day. That was the last live stream that he did. Who remember? Am I tripping? Am I tripping or no? I'm making that up. And there was another guy. He made 10 videos on me in 2 weeks. These were the Black Manospheres. Who? Anybody remember this? Am I tripping? Or am I making this up? Are we finished or are we done here? Am I finished or are we done? Then there was another guy who got a BBL, proceeded to make video after video after me. There's a guy that wears a hairpiece, made video after me. If I pull it up, I can pull up their channels. All right. I can pull up their channels and show you every video they made on me. And these were all Manosphere guys. But what you're saying, I built something? I'm thoroughly confused. I'm thoroughly confused. What did I build over since 2023, nigga? So with that being said, I'm wondering, what the fuck are you talking about? I haven't really been in the Manosphere the last 2 years. Somebody, let me see here. I haven't been in the Manosphere associated for the last 2 years. I mean, it's not even been close. So what did I build? Again. So let's get back into it. And I was 2 years before that, I was giving them that work. All right. But 2 years before that, I was giving them that work. Now y'all want to bring me back. What happened? I'm confused. I mean, I'm wondering what y'all talking about. Oh, by the way, here's another one. Yeah, I was always independent. Here's another one. When Tony Gaskins made about 8 videos on me, did anybody in the Manosphere react to Tony Gaskins' video of me? I'll give you one person that did. And it was Messy Michonne, a woman who's Manosphere adjacent. She was, I think, the only one that I know of. I might be wrong, but Messy Michonne was the only one that reacted to Tony Gaskins' blatant attack against me. Multiple videos. Nobody in the Manosphere said shit. Right? But you're saying I was a part of that space? I wasn't. They wanted it. They thrived on it. So, oh yeah, the guy's still here. The guy's still here. And look at this. Look, man, we gave you a chance to show up. We gave you a chance to show up, but you didn't. So at that point, we got to tell you to go. We got to tell you to go. You look at him crying. This is a typical Manosphere guy. Why'd you put me in timeout for having an opinion? Are we not allowed to have one over here? Sir, you can have the opinion that you want. All I'm going to tell you is click the link. You're faceless. Click the link. So that's your last opinion. Click the link. I invited you up. Come on up. Click the link. So you can express your opinion. I'm giving you all the opportunities. Call in. Call in, sir, but do not wear a mask. Show your face. Show your recessed chin. Show your pimply puzzly face. Show your background with all the video games and empty Dorito bags. Come on. Put your camera on. Call in. That's your only last chance to defend your bitch ass Manosphere space. Come on. No sunglasses. Show your neck beard and the beef jerky and the sunflower seeds and the Mountain Dew and the bird chest. You got all the opportunity to do so. Click the link. You're not banned. You're banned in the chat, but click the link. While we wait on him, let's talk about what the Manosphere is. Like I said, I've been in and around the space since 2015. The reason I was in the Manosphere was not because I could not get a relationship. It was, in fact, relationships that led me to this space. So it wasn't just a divorce. It was dating and subsequently being in relationships after the divorce. And I was searching for answers. Luckily, there were a group of men that were providing answers. Now, these men were doing their best and they represented different groups. All right. And this graph is not the entire graph. I'm going to add to these particular groups of people here. But this space has been vital for a lot of group of men that were looking for answers. Now, once you started giving the men answers over time, they've applied it to a certain extent. But you guys see most of the time they'll enter into the space in one arena and then they'll bounce around into other arenas within the Manosphere. So they're still searching and finding themselves. And unfortunately, most people don't find themselves. They find themselves just being left out. They also have like a loneliness epidemic, okay, and this type of shit where men are trying to find their way. And then ultimately, the reason they're here is because they're inefficient in managing even themselves or relationships. So the entire group cluster of the Manosphere, and I cannot find a graph. There's plenty of people have written about this. I've been in the space long enough to know and understand what these groups are and what they mean to you if they were beneficial to you, right? What they mean to you if these particular groups are beneficial to you. So the number one group that you don't see on here are MRAs, men's rights activists, okay? MRAs are men's rights activists. This perhaps was the first particular group that became prominent spaces of the what we call the modern Manosphere. Now, there were people already doing blogs and before that, but the most prominent big group in the Manosphere were the MRAs. Now, you might ask, what are the MRAs? If you don't know. The MRAs are essentially a group of men who are fighting for and advocating for issues that affect men mostly legally. Now, there are men that are MRAs. They typically are older guys. Okay. This typically was a group of boomers and older Gen Xers. And their whole mission, like Paul Elam and many of these men, made an impact in MRAs. Now, initially, these people were not as vicious towards women. All right. They were not advocating for women to get restricted rights. They were not advocating for repealing the 19th Amendment. They were not advocating for Sharia law. They were not advocating for these type of things. Much of what they focused on were custody and legal issues related to the family court. Okay. That's pretty much what they were focusing on. And much of their education was educating men on how divorce laws affected men. You know, that's pretty much what they were doing. All right. And they were telling their stories. They were bringing on lawyers. They were collaborating. If you watch any of their streams now, they're hella boring compared to what the Manosphere or YouTube has become. Most of the time, they're very dry and most of the people are older. All right. And now this group was put on what you call a terrorist list. So they did face the retribution. They were rebuked by the critical mass and they were considered a threat because what were they doing? Educating men on the custody issues. It was mostly centered around custody, men deleting themselves. They were focused on alimony and this type of stuff. But most of their conversations, they would not attack women for being on their stream. They wouldn't even invite women to be on their stream, right? And there were a lot of men's rights activists that were women. And the reason why a men's rights activist would be a woman is because a lot of these women were either in the legal field, they work for child support. Remember, there was one woman named Diana Davidson, I believe. She was a lawyer out in Canada, and she was talking about what she knew about the court system. And so she was a men's rights activist per se, educating men on the court system as a lawyer. Also, a lot of these women were also the new wife, the second wife. Since people remarried, people typically remarried at higher rates. Men's rights activists weren't not telling men really to not get married. All right. That was a little bit later down the line in the manosphere. But men who were MRAs were probably on their second marriage. And thus, women who were being affected by the first wife were trying to educate men and speaking out on issues about child support and alimony from the perspective of how it affected the second marriage. You see what I mean? So that's an example of what MRAs were. All right. Like I said, they did get a lot of attention. I believe the Southern Poverty Group, let me see if I can pull this up. Southern Poverty Law Center, MRAs, as early, let me see here, MRAs. Let me see if I can pull this up. This is the men's right. This is the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is ran by a you-know-who-ish. I don't know if he's still alive. But he had identified as MRAs as a subgroup of male supremacists. So as you can see, who are believing that they are fighting against feminist conspiracies to oppress men. While they claim to advocate for men, their primary focus has been attacking women and feminism. And so, yeah, did they talk about feminism and gynocentric court systems? Yes, they did. And so they did get a little bit of attention and not a lot of respect because they were seen as a male supremacist group, the MRAs. So this is before MGTOW became a lot popular, certainly well before Passport Bros, and certainly well before the Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels hype, movement, if you will. And they were centered around another particular group of the manosphere that we're going to talk about next. Okay, so as you can clearly see, this group was very dynamic and popular, mostly probably their popularity probably started to decline once people started to expose them around 2015 and 2014 and 2016. All right. They started to gather less steam. Their videos started to be less popular. They were overwhelmingly shadow banned. Okay. People would not listen to them and respect them. The guys appeared a lot older. Most of the guys were white. Most of the guys were old white men. And thus it was easy to dismiss them. Oh, you're just old and, or you're just bitter and old and, easy to dismiss them. And I would say Paul Elam probably will be recognized as one of the number one MRAs right now. I mean, even today. So Paul Elam would probably represent the MRAs. And shout out to Paul Elam. Now, the next group that you don't see on this chart that are part of the manosphere are pickup artists. And this is represented as three letters, PUA. Pickup artists. Now, this group started to gain popularity. I mean, you can do some research on this. There were pickup artists as early as the 70s and 80s. You can see videos of people appearing on Jenny Jones as early as them doing pickup artistry. I remember Jenny Jones had a group of black guys that were talking about getting pimp stripes and they were macking girls and using them for their money. All right. I remember that. And I was barely out of high school or in high school. And so this is a representative. So they would go out and they would holler at these women and then they would get the women to support them. Okay. So pickup artists were associated and have always been and always will be associated with the manosphere. All right. Anybody that takes them out of the manosphere is doing a disrespect. They have always been a part of the manosphere, closely linked. A lot of them have collabed with almost men across the manosphere. And dare I say, they were popular before MGTOW. So for people who want to bring in the MGTOWs, which we'll talk about later, they were highly popular. Like MGTOWs didn't exist before popularity of pickup artists. Okay. So pickup, there was no MGTOW really, no Free Agent Lifestyle, no Passport Bros, no Andrew Tate before pickup artists. So you would know there's a lot of popular black pickup artists, a lot of popular white pickup artists. Sometimes the black pickup artists would fight the white pickup artist. And more or less, pickup artists that didn't pivot towards hate content towards women, those pickup artists could not stay relevant. Okay. So if they just kept telling you cold approach, this type of thing, and they never pivoted their content to talk about female nature, this type of thing, they were pretty much obsolete. They struggled to get views. Much of their views were archaic. A lot of guys that tried their techniques in their coaching programs already kind of tried it and failed and became future incels and MGTOWs. All right. And what happened was those guys failed to keep up in relevancy. Now, what also happened, and you people are talking about RSD. This is another guy that I'm going to bring up. The social dynamic groups. What happens is some PUAs pivoted towards red pill MGTOW content, because the third group would be the MGTOWs. So MGTOWs represent the men going their own way. That gathered steam probably around 2015, 2016. A lot of these guys were Canadian content creators. It was an acronym that came up as a philosophy related towards you don't have to do and comply with what the world tells you what to do. You can go your own way. Now, some people thought going your own way was to stay single, and you couldn't just go your own way and be in a relationship. All right. People are like, you can't do that. That's not going your own way. But really, going your own way, you can determine however you want to do it. And that's when it became kind of restrictive, because MGTOW started to claim that the only way to do it is just sit at home alone and get a ranch and sit back in the cabin in the woods. You know, that was the only kind of support that the MGTOWs gave. Now, this group became very popular fast. And the way they became popular fast is because, well, they were a new philosophy. They definitely did not like pickup artists, right? They were despising pickup artists. They despised a lot of the bullshit around the feminist agenda. A lot of these guys were young at the time. So just like Gen Z is young, a lot of these guys were young millennials and maybe young Generation Xers. So they were able to use the platform, YouTube and this shit, without the blogs and without written articles. They were able to fire off crazy content, like a lot of content, good editing, a lot of bravado, a lot of I got the penis, you know, right? Big John. And they were able to really get a lot of attention within a year and a half or 2 years with the MGTOWs. A lot of the MGTOWs hid their faceless channels. A lot of them were thought to be CIA agents and this type of thing. So there were a lot of people that gathered towards the MGTOW group, because that group people can relate to. I gathered towards that group because of all the groups of the Manosphere. That was what I was wanting to deal with. They were telling me about the family court. They were exposing female nature. They were talking about social dynamics. They were talking about dating apps being unfair, relationship dynamics. They talked a little bit about the family court, but these guys typically really didn't get involved and have real relationships that led to marriage. They talked about the disadvantage, how marriage disadvantages men. They would talk about divorce cases that they weren't related to, and they were beneficial to a group of men because those guys found a space. It was like, okay, all right, yeah, I don't want a relationship. I don't want to get married. So that group became popular really quick. But a lot of the MGTOWs started to use a lot of really striking language that was appealing to men. Whereas if you had MRAs, that wouldn't be appealing because you're a millennial, you're a young Gen Xer. MRAs is not an appealing thing, all right, because you're not coming off a divorce, you're not coming off of child support, right? Pickup artistry, a lot of pickup artists, a lot of MGTOWs, some of them, not all, a lot of MGTOWs came from the pickup artistry. So what would happen is a guy would try to find his way. He would try to get success with women. He would go to these pickup artist conventions. He would go watch VH1. He would watch these pickup artist videos. And then he would try to do them and have no success or little success. Or he realized what? This is bullshit. These niggas is lying and this and that. They just grifters. MGTOW would probably come up with the word grifter. So some MGTOWs came from PUA. They were doing pickup artistry. It didn't work for them. They got lost $5,000. And then a lot of MGTOWs got on to what you would call the Manosphere to expose the PUAs. So not only did they expose feminism and come up with creative videos and do good editing, they would actually go in and attack the pickup artists. The pickup artists, knowing that they were slipping in relevancy, would go and attack the MGTOWs. All right. So it was kind of some sort of infighting within a group. But the group really is not attached to each other. You could just separate all of these ideologies. Like, for instance, there's people in the Manosphere that would separate themselves. They're like, oh, that guy, I'm not associated with him. Okay, but he's Manosphere. Right? Right? And you would go, like, for instance, a Donovan Sharp would attack a MGTOW. A MGTOW would attack Donovan Sharp. MGTOW would attack Richard Cooper. Richard Cooper would attack a MGTOW. Kevin Samuels was not a pickup artist, or he was not a MGTOW, but his speech was like a MGTOW. A lot of the points that Kevin Samuels was making was pretty much MGTOW and black pickup artistry. All right. And so it was kind of like a hodgepodge of that. So the next group is the Black Manosphere, which is kind of separated in their own group, right? The Black Manosphere feels like the Manosphere itself is not welcoming. So they had to create their own subgroup within the group. And Kevin Samuels came through the Black Manosphere. But as he began to take popularity, a lot of his points started to sound like MGTOW and Black Manosphere mix. And what happened was, for people who don't remember, when Kevin Samuels started to get popular, one of the first groups that he's tried to forget, try to not give a voice, is MGTOWs. All right. So one thing he would say is that if somebody types MGTOW in the chat, all right, ban them. Ban them. Okay. So he would talk about like a MGTOW. All right. He would talk like hardcore like a MGTOW, but he would want to not associate it with them. And somebody says this, and I always have to clear this up. Somebody says, I used to listen to Tom Likas. Did he belong in this group? No, he did not. He did not. Those guys that were on radio and some of those guys that were allowed to be on television before YouTube do not count in any of this. And I always have to make this point because some dude will be like, well, Tom Likas, and they'll bring up Patrice O'Neal. These are not any of these Manosphere. They're not Manosphere. Okay, they're not associated with it. Really, the Manosphere are blogs and YouTube, all right, and social media. Those guys were radio. Patrice O'Neal was allowed to do and say what he said on stage and mainstream. You had the one brother, the one white dude that would be on Fox News. This was predating the Manosphere. Although these people, what happened was, and people don't realize, a lot of their videos and commentary started to get posted on Manosphere channels, but it was older content. It was old content. So we would listen to Tom Likas, and he was doing a show from the year 2002, but it would be posted on YouTube like it was current. Patrice O'Neal, similar. Much of his content that was posted. Bill Burr was old content that was repurposed and just put on. And so you might watch it in 2015, 2016, 2017, but it was old content. So then they get mixed into this dynamic of, oh, they were part of the Manosphere, and they were not. They were completely isolated into a different group that predated the Manosphere. Okay, it predated it significantly. And I don't think, honestly, we can say they made a contribution to what became the Manosphere, because the people that became the Manosphere didn't listen to Tom Likas. They listened to Tom Likas after the Manosphere kind of got going. So then Tom Likas was like, oh, look, these old videos of Tom Likas was already talking about this. Patrice O'Neal was already talking about it. And so they kept posting it as if it was current, and it was already 5, 10 years, 15 years early. There's another guy, Rudolph is his name. Rudolph, Mark Rudolph, same thing. He was on Fox News relatively early. And it was way before what we consider what is the Manosphere. He was not linked to the Manosphere at all. He was just talking his shit. That's what he was doing. Somebody says, was I on the Red Man group with Rolo? No, I've never appeared on anything with Rolo in 10 years. Not one. All right. Not a single one. Somebody said, and this is what I'm saying, men don't listen. Patrice and Tom were heard before the Manosphere was a term. Again, are you dumb? That's exactly what I said. You're dumb. You don't disagree. You're stupid. All right. That's exactly what I said. Of course they were heard. Dumbass. They were on Fox News. They were on AM radio. Stupid. Of course they were heard. I said that. They were heard before Manosphere was a term. How you disagreeing with some shit? How you disagreeing when that's exactly what the fuck I said? Jesus Christ. That's what I said. Jesus. Now, getting back to it, the Black Manosphere. The Black Manosphere essentially was a hodgepodge of what the last group was, which is INCEL. INCEL essentially are men who don't have ability to get into a relationship. Before there was INCEL, there was True Force Loneliness, TFL. So INCELs were not known as incels until kind of later, after that dude, whatever that one dude that shot up I can't remember his name. And he's also credited for being a Manosphere or a MGTOW, and he was an incel. A lot of incels typically, and Manosphere guys try to disconnect themselves from incels. They're like, oh, they're not a part of us, but they are. They're always going to be. Any publication is always going to attach this particular group to the Manosphere. Yeah, Elliot Rogers, that type of shit. He's an incel. All right. He wasn't a MGTOW. He wasn't a pickup artist. He wasn't an MRA. These are just incels. Okay. But True Force Loneliness was the name essentially that kind of predated what the term is called incels. And what these people would do before incels became the overriding term, these men would want a relationship but couldn't get one. Okay. They would want a relationship, whereas an incel kind of wants one, can't get one, but he'll kind of write it off as he don't want it. I'll just be by myself type shit. Whereas a True Force and Loneliness were people who kind of wanted a relationship. They would actually see people in relationships and they'll get triggered. They'll be like, I can't believe, and why does she want him? Why does she want him and not me? Now, the Black Manosphere kind of is a concoction of all three. Incel, which would be educated lame. Why does Tata and Alicia go for Pookie? That would be more incel talk. All right. Why doesn't these black women honor men with degrees like me? I got a PhD. I'm a doctor. I'm good in the community. I'll be willing to be a stepdad, but these women don't want me. They want Pookie. That would be more incel talk. That's not Red Pill. That's not Manosphere. I mean, that's not MGTOW. You can't really attach that to MGTOW, although MGTOW's in the chat and Tyrone was kind of like popularized through MGTOW. But that's more of an incel approach. An educated lame is more of an incel. All right. And he can't get a relationship. He's more True Force Loneliness. The Black Manosphere had a ton of those guys. Ton of them. Ton of black men who were watching these girls turn into Pookie lovers, and then they were given the leftovers type shit. And then there were Black Manosphere guys that thought they were pickup artists. All right, pickup artists. And they thought they were pickup artists. So they were like a concoction. And there were Black Manospherians that came out of divorce and didn't fit in with the MRAs, or they came off of child support and they didn't fit in with the MRA. So they kind of created their own subgroup of content that related to the Black man only. So they kind of found their niche of how to move in a space called the Manosphere. They created their subgroup, but they were a hodgepodge. They had their incels, which were educated lames. They had their true force loneliness. They had their, guys that wanted to be gentlemen. Kevin Samuels kind of was a weird person to explain. While he was married and divorced twice, much of his popularity came late. But if you actually knew him, like I was around before Kevin Samuels got popular, he was doing the cologne and the clothes and trying to tell men to dress well and present themselves well. But he ended up calling it like he was image consultant. That was much of his shtick. But he kind of was, dare I say, people didn't give him credibility even in the cologne space. So he was still trying to find his space, but he was really good in the dynamics of talking about from the educated lane perspective. Corporate Urkel. That's kind of where his lane was. He was like not the bad guy, not the good guy. He was coming from the gentleman perspective, but it was more like he had been married and divorced twice already. So it's like the corporate guy, but how to clean up. So he was a little more polished and respectful, but people really weren't feeling him until very late. I mean, very late. Kevin was on the scene as early as, I want to say 2018, 2017, as much as long as I had been on. He was around the whole time. He just didn't have that message succinct yet until 2021. Yeah, the classic man. That's kind of what he represented. But he came in from the Black Manosphere. So you had people like BGS Ibmore. There was that Ibmore, which is a subgroup. SYSBM was a subgroup. But much of their philosophy is kind of like MGTOW. So Ibmore, SYSBM, MGTOW, they're kind of all similar in a sense. And that's where Kevin Samuels came out of. But he also kind of wanted to separate himself from that group, especially when it became a lot more popular. But he had been around for a very long time. He would do collabs. He would do all of that shit. And he really didn't pop until late. I mean, he really wasn't popular only for about 15 months. I mean, it was really he came in like a storm, and unfortunately he's not here. But Kevin Samuels came from the Black Manosphere, more or less the Ibmores, the SYSBM. He was good at speaking. And then when he got on the thing about bringing people up to debate him, he was talking about men. He was only talking to men, and a lot of men didn't like Kevin Samuels, especially MGTOWs. MGTOWs did not like Kevin Samuels. All right. That group, they were going in on Kevin Samuels. Why? Because Kevin Samuels told you to boss up, right? Dress well, present yourself well, don't sag your pants. So a lot of guys that would come up to challenge him or get some advice, it was mostly men for about a year. There were no women calling into his show for about a year. And his channel did not blow up because of this, but it did get a lot of attention. Okay, it did get a lot of attention, but the attention came from men who were shooting and tearing Kevin Samuels down. They were like, I can't believe this nigga want me to wear a suit and a sweater. And they didn't like it. He was telling men that 100K ain't shit. That's where the high value man, he didn't create it, but the high value man was popularized through him trying to get men to be high value. It didn't start off telling women how to get a high value man. He spent about 8 months trying to tell men to become high value men and boss up. Then what happened was the women started to call in to find out how to find said high value men. So that's how it started for Kevin. And then boom. All right. Then it was your average at best. That's how it happened. It just so, man, I mean, you talk about, and it wasn't luck because Kevin was fully prepared for this. He was fully prepared. But it was not happenstance. I don't want to tell him, because I hate when people say it was luck for me. But at the point Kevin was doing the male content, men were hate watching him. And it just so happened that women called into the show. And he started to read the women the riot act. It was like the perfect storm. It was like, wow. Niggas was watching Kevin Samuels like, fuck this nigga. Fuck this nigga. But then when he started going in on the women, then they started to champion him. All right. That's kind of how it went. For people who know the history of it, Kevin Samuels used to watch me. Yes, he did. He used to comment on me. He used to watch my live streams. He used to super chat. But that's pretty much how it happened. And along the time of that, Fresh and Fit started to become popular. All right. So they kind of had a trajectory that was similar. However, they came from two different groups. Okay. Now, the Fresh and Fit type group. This the group that I call the infiltrators. Now, this isn't to go in on Myron, but the Myron group opened the door for the infiltrators. Not so much Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels allowed and got more people to grab the mic, more older guys. But it is when the Fresh and Fit group came in, you got to remember, Myron was talking about fitness and pickup artistry. So Myron's background was pickup artistry. For anybody that want to know, he kind of came in through the PUA group. Much of his readings and his understanding about the red pill and the manosphere came from pickup artists. Once he came onto the scene and he was very aggressive and wanting to collab with a lot of people, people that say he don't watch me and never watches me is crazy. I mean, he actually had a coaching call with me in around the year 2021 or 2020. I showed you the receipts, and he was trying to get on. And he was like, look, I've been on Rolo's show. I've been on Anthony Johnson's show. He was just trying to get on, right? And he said, I got a message. I got his coaching call with me essentially was that, and it was, this is privileged information. But essentially he was saying he's got a strategy for men. All right. And he was like, and I want to tell it. Now, I didn't think the collab would work with me and him because at the time I was more of like MGTOW free agent. So at the time I was transitioning out of MGTOW, adopting this free agent lifestyle because MGTOW, Big John went on CNN and exposed MGTOW. Now, a lot of people used to name their channel MGTOW, and you just can't do that now, right? You was just going to get torpedoed because Big John went on CNN in around, I think, 2017, 2018, 2019. I want to say 2019. All right, so 2019 or something, Big John went on CNN and did an interview, and then MGTOW got crushed, and they started deleting motherfuckers' channels. It was like apocalypse now. So that destroyed any momentum the MGTOWs had. So Myron came from PUA. Okay. Yeah, Darius M. was Darius MGTOW. He had to go by Darius M, right? That's an example of the MGTOWs had to basically just hide. All right, nigga, I'm like free agent lifestyle. Nigga, I ain't associated with none of that shit. But when Myron's group came on, it was very good because Myron was the first content creator that had production value. He was the first content creator that had production value in the manosphere. Now, you can say Anthony Johnson, who had the 21 Studios. You would probably say he did too, but much of his content production value was centered around speeches, right? But you can say Anthony Johnson had production value as well. He invested production value into his conferences. And his conferences morphed over time. They were mostly for early PUAs. Then it morphed into, Manosphere content, Red Pill, and then it morphed into, the MAGA movement. But Myron was the first one to put production value in a podcast. Because really, before Myron, there was niggas grabbing a mic, holding a mic. You can hear the feedback on the mic. Remember the Blue Yeti? Niggas holding a blue Yeti, sitting in the dark. You couldn't see them. People would just do a podcast like this. All right, let me see if I can do this. Where's the camera? How can I do this? Oh, here we go. This is how people did a podcast on Red Pill. They would do the whole podcast like this. Yeah, man, and these bitches, these hoes, and this and that. This is how men did podcasts in the Red Pill. I mean, and at best, they didn't have no lighting. All right, hold on for a second. Niggas wouldn't have no lighting. Like me, I have lighting. Dudes didn't have no lighting. They was in a dingy basement. Fucked up shit, bro. Right. Like nobody had, like I got 2 lights pointed at me. I've been having this set up since I want to say 2019, 2020. Myron came along 2020, 21. So I had a little bit of production. All right. A little bit. He said sniffing coke in the basement, Zoom calls, what they used to call them, Google meetups. Somebody said Kevin had production value too. No, he did not. Not until late in the game. If you look up Kevin's production, it was not good. All right. He was just had a camera. He just had a camera. And to be honest with you, I don't really think he had production value, to be honest with you. I don't think he had production value. Most of his videos look like he's sitting in the dark room. All right. Kevin did not have great production value. He had like a spinner thing, 1 camera, barely any light, 1 microphone. Right. He had no transitions, multiple cameras. All right. I'm not even dissing him. All right. But Kevin did not have great production value. I mean, he was a presence he was a force by himself. He said in a Red Bull. But much of and somebody said Ringo Raw, and I do need to tell Ringo Raw, and he sometimes gets forgotten in this space, and sadly, he should not get forgotten. And it's hard to really put where he is because you can say he's Black Manosphere, but I think he kind of predated the Black Manosphere. He predated Black Manosphere. Ringo Raw was just coming on talking that shit. And later on, because he was very efficient, I think he probably posted his first video in 2007. He's been banned 100 times. He's had 50 channels. He really kind of in the space of his own, right? And you can't really put him as a Black Manosphere. You can't put him as a MGTOW. You can't put him as a dating coach. Although you might listen to a video and he might sound like that. He might sound like a MGTOW one day. He might sound like a dating coach. Much of his popularity was centered around religious takes, talking about churches. And so his background, you could see kind of like I want to say, was he an Israelite? Kind of an Israelite. Tommy Sotomayor, another one that predated all of this. You could say probably he encouraged people to create the Black Manosphere. I wouldn't put him in the Black Manosphere, but I think without Tommy, there's no Black Manosphere. And Tommy had production value like crazy. I mean, Tommy Sotomayor was the first Black man to basically get popular talking that shit. And he was funny. I mean, he was funny. The nigga could sing and rap. Right. So he was a comedian / commentator socially / and let's be honest, there's no Kevin Samuels without Tommy Sotomayor. Let's just be honest. There's no Kevin Samuels without Tommy Sotomayor. So Tommy would bring production value. I mean, I think he had a house in Phoenix with a pool in the back, and he would have the camera slider and multiple angles. So Tommy's production value, he might have been the first one that had better production value. All right. So he was the first one that put production into this show. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can find some old podcasts where he's just sitting there with a microphone. Okay. All right. And Patrice O'Neal is not in this conversation. Stop bringing up these people. They're not in this conversation. Tommy Likas, Patrice O'Neal, Mark Rudolph, these people predated all of this shit. They were on the mainstream. They were in Hollywood. Okay. They were in the industry. They're not outside of they were outside of the industry. They weren't in the industry. So, all right. Now, you have to really like Tommy to watch him. But I think for me, what I liked about Tommy was that Tommy was, I liked his viewpoints related to more or less relationships. The other stuff was not very right here. The other stuff was not very interesting to me, even the humor shit, you know what I mean? But he came up with Niggly Bears. Like, he was the first kind of black guy to be a Uncle Tom. Very, very good shit. Very good shit. And then AMS was probably the one that had the fastest skyrocketing dating channel for a black guy. And that was around 2017. And then you had like Solo TV 84 and these people, but you know, they really kind of fumbled the bag, fumbled the ball because they really didn't put production value in it. When people started to get popular and do put production value into their podcast, they would do a stream like this, blah, 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 blah. Then you have the Angry Man's. Angry Man, again, I think is often misunderstood, and thus he did not gain a major following until later. But he had great impact. But I think also Angry Man pissed off a lot of people in the group, right? So a lot of people attacked him for some reason, which I didn't know why. I don't know why people attack Angry Man. I think it's because it's his demeanor, but he's very smart. He's a very smart guy. He can cover a variety of topics, but I don't know what it is that people go after him. They go after him. But let me just tell you, of all the people that motivated me to do what I'm doing, Angry Man probably, because people will like to say, who did you copy from? Who did you steal from? And when I first started off, Angry Man was the one that had the most impact on me. Out of everybody I just mentioned, he was the one. I kind of had my music like him. I kind of try to follow everything he did. I try to do my thumbnails like him. So if anybody can come and claim that I stole from him and that, he could have the claim. All right. He could be like, yeah, CGA kind of stole my flow. And I tried to do and mimic because I watched him a lot. All right. I did everything he did except sit in the car. Right. All right. Okay. Like, he did car videos and I never really did car videos. I tried to do what he was doing, but not in the car. And Black Ram 313, a lot of these people are Black Manosphere. And unfortunately, really the Black Manosphere, although a lot of Black people watch me, I would say more than 50% of my audience is Black. All right. But at the same time, they just weren't as popular. All right. I don't know if they didn't get popular until late. And a lot of it because they were behind the scenes. You know, you didn't see their face. They had to hide. They had the apocalypse. They got their channels removed. All right. So with this, you have these spaces. And Fresh and Fit's donation to the community was production, high level production, investing. They had the big lights. Once they came together as a group, because they were separate. I didn't know who Fresh was at the time, but I did start to pick up on Myron. Myron had contacted me. Myron started to appear on other people's channels, and he became known to me. And I started looking at him, and that was when he would wear the Unplugged Fitness shirt. This is really going back before the podcast that they ended up establishing. And Walter and me still communicate. I still have a good relationship with him. But he was doing the Unplugged Fitness, and a lot of his conversations, he was doing this is some dating advice. This is some fitness advice. So it was kind of like he was trying to morph both groups. And then they credit Solo TV 84 for putting them together as a group. And once they put this together as a group, it started off slow initially. They invited me on. I don't think they had more than 30,000 subs when I went on their channel for the first time. People don't remember this. I ain't lying. I was kind of one of the first people getting closer to that 100,000 subscriber number. Now, there were people like Tommy who had those plaques and got banned. So his channels were banned. He had 100K plaques, but the channel that he was on really was banned. So it was only like 10, 20, 30, 40,000, and then they would ban him. People like AMS went way over 100,000, but he would turn off his subscriber number, right? He wouldn't show how many subscribers. Back then, you could turn off your subscribers. But right around 2018, 2019, I took off really quickly. And my main channel got to 80,000 subs in less than a year, like a year and a half. I don't even think it was a full year. And I was at 80,000. Okay. But I got shadow banned. I got demonetized. It wasn't the full demonetization, but all my videos got demonetized. Then I started a second channel. That channel got to 40K. The third channel, it got to 30K. But then I got majorly demonetized in 2021. So that's killed my momentum. That killed my momentum. So then people were able to put up, by 2022, everybody was doing this. And that's when the Manosphere changed. So Fresh and Fit brought on the production. Much of their conversation was around PUA, but it was disguised as red pill / dare I say MGTOW. But they wouldn't claim it was MGTOW. Just like PUAs, the PUAs that stayed relevant transitioned their content to sound like MGTOW. But then at the end, it would be PUA. 33 Secrets is an example of this. They wanted to be relevant, but they know they couldn't promote pickup artistry up front. So they started to take their videos, like 33 Secrets would do videos like Darius MGTOW. That's how he would present it. And then he would do his pitch at the end, right? So the PUAs that stayed relevant switched to red pill MGTOW. But they would not claim MGTOW. They would not claim red pill. They would just be like, hey, I'm just telling you something, right? And they would just come on here and they would do videos like that one dude in the fucking in the garage with the camera and the Ferraris. All right, they would do videos like that. Just a camera and them somewhere and with maybe a hot 19-year-old babe. And somebody said most MGTOWs were just white supremacists. Yeah, they were mostly kind of like white supremacist type shit. Like, but they were kind of, they wouldn't. Yeah, you can say that for sure. But the Fresh and Fit took off when they started bringing the girls on. Okay, that's when their channel blew up. Around the same time, Kevin Samuels started to reach a height. This is during COVID. Now, because of this, the message started to change, right? The message started to change. People started to see that there was popularity in it. People started to duplicate everybody's material and everybody's format. So now it was AdSense. This is when Super Chat became popular. They started looking at Kevin's stream and he getting $1,000 and $500 Super Chats. They go on Myron's Fresh and Fit. They see him $500, $300, $200 Super Chats. Kevin and Myron end up getting into some motherfucking beef over some AdSense. So at this point, people started during COVID going, oh, we can come up here and talk about women and trash them. Well, I'm already demonetized by this point, right? I'm shadow banned. I'm demonetized. All the MGTOWs are demonetized and shadow banned. All the pickup artistries are irrelevant. All right. The MRAs were cooked. So this was the new grift. This was like the new message. What we're going to do is shit on women. That is the only thing we're going to do. We're not going to teach you about the family court. We're not going to do any invitation. We're not going to teach you about lessons. We're not going to warn you about this. Even Kevin Samuels' show essentially was shitting on a woman that called in. All right, so let's just get it straight. And I'm not dissing. Shout out to Aaron Clary. He kind of fits into the MGTOW. But when it became apparent that just shitting on women and that being the whole show, that's when the infiltration came in. That's when the incels took over. You can say the incels trump the MGTOW, the incels trump the Black Manosphere, the incels trump the MRAs, and the incels trump the pickup artists. That's when the incels started to become way more prominent. Once the popularity was shit on women being the only thing relevant. Now, again, Myron, much of his pitch was to bring in this pickup artistry within his group. And a lot of his favorite content creators were pickup artistries. That's why you would see Rollo Tomasi on this show, because Rollo Tomasi is a pickup artist mixed in with a little bit of this social dynamic. What do you call it? Evolutionary psychology, pickup artistry. So he's kind of linked into that group. Even the way he dresses is how the old pickup artist Mystery dresses. So that's where he was. He came from the pickup artistry, and thus Fresh and Fit figured out if they could collab with him, Rolo became more relevant. He kind of was slipping and fading away and getting cooked by all kind of women. Rolo became a lot more relevant because Fresh and Fit propped them up, and they started to figure out how to do pickup artistry within Fresh and Fit. So Fresh and Fit to me is pickup artists, but they market it to incels. Right. They were basically pickup artists that marketed to incels, virgins, young people, their demographic, 18 to 28, 18 to 24. And I ain't shitting on it, but that's what it was, because now they started to develop a comedy show around it. They will put on the caps, the blue caps. They would do these things to make it entertaining. And it was very entertaining. Now, if you just were kind of over the fact that they was just, you knew the format. Oh, okay, they're going to bring these girls on. They're going to ask them questions, and then they're going to shit on them and kick them out, right? At a certain point, you might get enough of that. But really, the message, the group that they really brought in were the incels. And that group is really where the shit started going downhill. Just red pill raging, not trying to fix themselves, although people would say that the Fresh and Fit group would do podcasts to help fix each other, right? Fix men and uplift them. You cannot deny that. They definitely were doing that. They were mixing that in. However, that wasn't their popular shows. They would do that shows without the women, and that show would get 1/10 of the view that the shows of the women got. Okay. And that group brought on Pearl Davis. Pearl Davis kind of was a result of this group of people. Pearl Davis knew nothing about the Manosphere. She only knew about Kevin Samuels, and she just went on a series of trying to learn who was who. But she just started parroting what these guys were saying. I'm going to just parrot what these motherfuckers were saying. And then she got popular, and then people tried to figure out what was her fucking ideology. She didn't have none. She was like, what am I supposed to say? Read from some cue cards, completely ill-prepared. Right? And you're like, wow, like, are these people here to actually shit on the Manosphere, or are they trying to make it better? Because now you got Kevin Samuels, Pearl Davis, and Myron. You're like, oh my Lord. And so a lot of the old day ones are looking at it like, what is this shit? Why is Pearl Davis getting interviews? Why is everybody crediting Kevin Samuels for everything? And when Kevin Samuels was alive, everybody was going in on Kevin Samuels for stealing their shit. Right? And people forget about this. But when Kevin Samuels was alive, content creators that was alive and around, they was like, nigga, you was on my show, or you was listening to me say that shit. But of course, now you can't say that because he's dead, and everybody will say you just hating. But even back then, people would say, you just hating on Kevin Samuels, you just hating. But it was very apparent. Kevin was just basically he had his own thoughts. But all of his thoughts was basically Manosphere content from 2017 to 2020. And then he basically just repeated it on his show, right? Without giving credit back, and intentionally not giving any credit back. Like, he was like, I'm not going to give anybody credit. Go fuck yourself. That rubbed people the wrong way. Now, people don't want to bring that up now. I'm always going to bring it up, but people don't want to bring that up now because he's not here and people revere him. Unfortunately, here's the truth. Kevin Samuels brought in a lot of black incels. Right? Okay. Kevin Samuels brought in a lot of people who are not red pill or a Manosphere. He brought in normies. Kevin Samuels brought normies in, even celebrity normies. He brought men in interested in going, like, they know nothing about red pill. They knew nothing about Manosphere. He just brought in normies. So he brought motherfuckers off the street. Like, what is this shit? All right. What is this shit? And who is this? And who are these personalities? And who is this Kevin Samuels guy? So he brought in people who are completely unaware of anything that happened prior to 2021. Yep, he brought in cucks, lames, normies, celebrities, goofies, black incels that just wanted to see Kevin Samuel shit on these women. That was the whole main event. Like, all right, he talked for an hour. Let's watch him shit on women. So with that being said, and nobody can deny what I'm saying. That's what happened to the space. Too many normies, too many incels, which their sole purpose for watching content, and all of us contributed to this, was let's see who can shit on women the best. Let's see who had the most knowledge and can put these women away. So Fresh and Fit strategy, get drunk young girls on there to have good, honest conversations about feminism and, you know, the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. Like, you know, these people, these women were completely unaware. Now, not dissing Fresh and Fit. Then what happened was you just started having clones. Kevin Samuels clones, Fresh and Fit clones. And that's where the problem is. People that were not Manosphere, that were not MGTOW, that were not pickup artists. They were just people looking for attention. And what they learned was, let's copy this format. Let's copy Kevin Samuels' format. Wear a suit. There were dudes that were doing red pill content wearing no suits. Kevin Samuels started wearing a suit, and then they started wearing a suit, a shitty suit at that. Okay. Somebody said Patrice O'Neal is the father of this modern shit. Nope. He's not. All right. He's not. I'm not taking away his contribution, but he had no intentions of you incels and you MGTOWs listening to his shit. All right. And by the way, if he was a trick too. He bought pussy, admittedly, in Brazil. So he was a trick too. So if he's the grandfather, he the grandfather trick. But nobody's going to credit for him for that. But he paid for pussy unapologetically. And you could throw Corey Holcomb in that. He had been a part of the internet world, but he was not Manosphere. He was in his own space. He was Hollywood. So those people were Hollywood. But nobody was jumping out here going, I learned this from Patrice O'Neal. They were learning that later on, all right, being introduced to it by watching hundreds of hours of Manosphere content. And he just happened to pop up. All right. All right. Patrice O'Neal bought pussy with his wife there. All right. With his wife in the room. Donovan Sharp. Shout out to Donovan Sharp. Donovan Sharp was a pickup artist. All right. He came directly from the pickup artist lineage. So now what happens? You have the Everwhat podcast, just basically just copying Fresh and Fit and just doing a white version of Fresh and Fit, which he came from, and I'm not dissing him either, but he came from pranks. So did Walter. He came from Gold Digger pranks. Everwhat podcast came from pranks. Everwhat podcast is an incel podcast. 100%. That's just an incel. It's not a MGTOW. It's not a red pill. It's not a Manosphere. It's just an incel podcast. All right. Their group is just incels. Right. And their numbers represent that. It's just a fucking big group of incels. All right. And then Andrew Wilson is featured on there. Incel. All right. So what ended up happening is those men, because they were younger and they had a younger audience, they were able to better push their content through the YouTube. So they started to take advantage of the algorithm, whereas a person like me was older. I would think, I'm gonna put one video out and that's enough. Who remember those days where you would just get one video? You would get one video from a motherfucker. That's it. Once 2022, the incels, Fresh and Fit, whatever, Everwhat podcast, they started to just ambush the algorithm because they were new, young, and fresh. And we were sitting there like, damn, I feel like I'm messing up everybody's goddamn suggestion videos. We would just put out one video. These motherfuckers put out 5, 6, 7 clips, channels, and shit. We were like, oh shit, they just ambushing. All right, anyway. So essentially what began to happen, you had a newer group bringing in newer groups of people. So instead of listening to an old nigga like me, instead of listening to an old 40-year-old like Donovan, instead of listening to an old 40-year-old nigga like Angry Man, those people couldn't relate to us. So you had an 18-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 16-year-old. They just wanted to see women get shitted on. And then now you started to hear the rhetoric around, and because of these young podcasters, they knew how to trick the algorithm to get attention. They started to troll. So they would say wild shit. Repeal the 19th. Take away women's rights. Whereas MGTOWs would say that, but you could not take that seriously. These people were serious about it, or they were at least using Twitter and YouTube to troll people just to get views, which the Manosphere was never like that. It never was just to get views. It was to spread a message. Well, then you started seeing this particular group. The younger people started to troll the internet and say wild shit. That brought in more incels. Okay. Where does Andrew Tate fit in? Andrew Tate fits in where he was more associated, leaning towards pickup artistry. In fact, a lot of his early videos and early collabs were pickup artists. Okay. John Anthony Nightstyle, 21 Studios, a lot of his earlier videos and a lot of approach in his sales techniques were pickup artistry. Okay. Very similar, closely associated, adjacent. He was known at the time. However, Fresh and Fit made him a lot more prominent. Once Andrew appeared on Fresh and Fit, Andrew figured out how to do the whole clipping shit and figured out he had a service because he's a very great talker. But once he went on the Fresh and Fit show and he got massive views, he knew he had incels to sell too. Right? Okay. So he, not saying he was an incel. I think he's an introvert. I don't know anything about him personally. I think he's just more of an introvert like I am. I'm introverted with extrovert tendencies where I can speak in public. I don't have a fear of speaking. I can be well in social elements. I just don't want to. And people will confuse that as you can't do it or you're scared or you're socially awkward. You just don't have patience for social shit. But you don't have a problem jumping up on stage talking and putting yourself in front of the camera. I would say that's our only similarities, Andrew Tate and me. As to like people that know me in real life, I'm like, I don't talk, right? I don't talk. I don't draw attention to myself. I don't bring any of this shit. Like, I don't want attention. Like, people, I'm very calm and passive. Now, when I'm on the show, I talk that shit, and it's not a character. This is my really true feelings. I'm expressing what I want to express. I just don't want to talk about it when the camera's off. Okay. So when people see me in public and they want to talk to me about this, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, don't talk to me about this shit. People think I talk about this shit in public and I go outside and publicly talk about this. I'm like, I don't want to talk about the shit. Nigga, I done talked about it on the podcast. Okay. So Andrew Tate is an introvert with extrovert tendencies. Much of his thoughts is because he sits and thinks to himself. And I understand that because that's me. Because I like to sit in quiet and think. And then when I turn the camera on, blah, 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 it's talking that shit. Right. So Andrew Tate became popular through Fresh and Fit. They figured out, Andrew Tate figured out that he had a bigger audience to sell to because they had found his content very appealing when he visited Fresh and Fit a few times. Fresh and Fit found that Andrew Tate was very useful to them. And so they became to have a good relationship. And thus Andrew Tate started to take out. He started to take off after his appearances on Fresh and Fit. Anybody want to debate me on that? I'm not saying he was not popular before that, but he was not relevant until his visits to Fresh and Fit. Right now, much of what you see him getting exposed from was his earlier pickup artistry coach, Pimpin' Hose Degrees, and his visits on Fresh and Fit. All right, so those are the clips they keep bringing up. And since Fresh and Fit's audience were young incels mostly, Andrew Tate was able to capitalize off of that particular group. All right, and so it became a very good relationship. Now, That's why we're at where we're at right now. So if we go back and say, does the space look like pickup artistry? No. Does the space look like MGTOW? No. Okay. Somebody says, is what you're saying that he blew up after Fresh and Fit? Obvious. Just look at it. I mean, that's obvious. It's not even close. Andrew Tate's popularity is 2022 and really 2022 only. His first appearances were literally in 2022 on Fresh and Fit. It's a no-brainer. He did not appear on Fresh and Fit after he blew up. He appeared on Fresh and Fit before he blew up. Before he blew up, nobody was quoting Andrew Tate in the Manosphere. Not a single person, not a single podcaster, not a single video. Nobody was quoting Andrew Tate before he appeared on Fresh and Fit. Nobody was. Not a single person. He was irrelevant to the Manosphere before he appeared on Fresh and Fit. Then he ended up adopting the clipping lifestyle, like the affiliate. Then he became massively popular after Fresh and Fit in 2022. Okay. Period, point blank. He was irrelevant, and he was not even a person you would even attribute to the Manosphere prior to 2022, prior to Fresh and Fit. People knew of him, but he was irrelevant. Nobody was talking about him. He just jumped on the scene really quickly, boom, and blew up. And by him doing his affiliate programming in his war room and getting mostly 13 to 28-year-old dudes to buy into him. And much of that 13-year-old audience came from Fresh and Fit. Okay. Somebody said the Big Brother show. That was way before. He was not relevant to the Manosphere on the Big Brother show. Not even close. That did not even put him on the radar. And yeah, was he making videos? Yep, he was making videos. He was talking his shit. He was doing podcasts. He was doing vlogs. He still was irrelevant prior to 2022. All right. Prior to 2022, he was irrelevant before he got on Fresh and Fit. All right. Then he started blowing up on TikTok, everywhere. Instagram. You cannot not see the nigga. All right. He cannot not see the nigga. It was crazy. Somebody said he was scamming Forex courses too. Yeah, he was irrelevant before 2022. In the sense, in comparison to who he was irrelevant. Now, where does that bring us today? The space doesn't look like anything related to what you would say is MGTOW, pickup artistry, anything related to men's rights activists. Black Manosphere is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. If you just take the whole picture, they're irrelevant. If you went to the mainstream and you say, who are the most relevant personalities? They're centered around incels. Okay. Their group typically are going to be incels. It's the incels are dominating. Men that just want to shit on women. We had that EDP 445 basically say, I only listen to them because they shit on women. If you don't do a show that's just shitting on women, you ain't getting no views. Some people want to talk about people like MTR, the Poor Man's Podcast. These people are just people who reviewed Kevin Samuels material, aka the reaction channels. So MTR is a reaction channel. Poor Man Podcast, a reaction channel. Cesar Chiza Hazed, reaction channel. So they came in and just reacting to content. They didn't just jump on here and tell you what it was and how to do this and how to navigate life. Here's what you do. They just basically put on a video, react to it, and then say some shit, and then they leave. All right. They have no philosophy, nor core principles. They don't do any interviews. They have no, and I'm not shitting on them, but these are just people reacting to videos. And much of their popularity came from reacting to Kevin Samuels. All right. That was their first entry into relevance. They would just react to Kevin Samuels. All right. That was it. Now, once Kevin Samuels died and they had a large audience, they were able to parlay that into content and popularity. They would just react to shit. Okay, react. Okay, yep, blah, 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 yep, blah, 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 blah. They probably had no relationship experience, or some of these guys were married. In fact, I believe 2 of those guys that have podcasts are married, but they're Manosphere adjacent. Chiza Hazed, married. Poor Man Podcast, married. There was another one of these guys. They're married. They ain't even single. They got wives and shit. Right? They got wives and family and kids. And they over there making $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 a month reacting. Anton Daniels, that's the other one. Anton Daniels, married. But his popularity came through the Manosphere. And his popularity, much of his popularity, I would say much of his popularity came from conversations like, I wouldn't say it was like Kevin Samuels, but much of his hard-hitting material was him having conversations with women. And he's very good at this too. He's very good at it. But much of his early popularity came from not him reacting to Kevin Samuels, but essentially having conversations with women related to Kevin Samuels, like Kevin Samuels would do. Then he later morphed into reaction channel. Like Anton is a one-stop shop. He has reaction channels. He has great shorts. He has a group of people. He can get 8 people on the screen and pretty much dominate the space. He could talk about bossing up and getting your money right. So Anton is really figured out how to do everything well. He can go MAGA, Republican, conservative. He can talk business. Like his show is not one dimensional. However, his clips tend to take off because they're related to Manosphere adjacent. They're Manosphere adjacent. All right. Anytime I see and he knows how to do YouTube. He's good at doing YouTube. So whether you might like him or not, he gonna get views because he knows how to do YouTube. He knows how to cover all the bases and pick a lane. Now, I don't watch him as much because he came after me. Typically, when people come after me, it's difficult to kind of watch them because it's kind of like you already said it and they said it. You already said it and they're saying it. So I kind of go back and like, all right, why am I watching people say what I just said for 4 hours? Right. I'm not trying to hate, but it's hard for me to watch people who kind of came after me and yeah, they're doing better than me and they're monetized, but I'm looking at them like I just said that for 4 hours a day. It's hard for me to go back and watch it, but I do respect it. And a lot of people fell off. Because they couldn't really keep up. Solo TV 84, they couldn't keep up with the new INCEL being the cell. All right, the big money is in INCEL. Coach Red Pill, he had great content, a little bit of production, hard-hitting facts, very educated. You know, he was too smart for his own fucking good. All right, he done got killed because he was too smart. Sandman, you cannot deny his contribution to the space. He was easy to discredit because he didn't show his face, but he had very good knowledge. All right, and he was from Canada. Let's see here. Somebody said, what about O'Shea? I mean, I can't really find anything positive to say about him. I think O'Shea was he was basically JJ Evans of the Manosphere or the Black Manosphere. JJ Evans. Kind of clownish. He probably had some good information, but right. Somebody mentioned Obsidian. Obsidian should have been way more popular than he was. Joker was a MGTOW. That's all I can say about him in terms of that. His message was pretty much a MGTOW message. He came on at the right time before the COVID, and he was relatable to white MGTOWs and incels. Not shitting on him though, but he's highly relatable to white men in MGTOWs and incels, meaning that he looks the part. He looks the part for a broad audience of men in the Manosphere. Like if you drew up a MGTOW, you would draw a Joker, right? The perfect guy. You're the perfect fucking spoil. Like you're like white, bald. You got a face for radio and a voice for print. Like he's the perfect foil. Like who would not watch him if you wanted information about MGTOW or he's the he came along when MGTOW was still relevant, and he was able to kind of keep that momentum going because he's the perfect spoil. Like he's a perfect foil for like who you would draw to represent that particular group. He's not incredibly handsome. He's not incredibly ugly. He could probably get women. He could probably not get women. Like, and he's similar to me too. We're both short. We're both the same. We're both bald. Like, we're kind of the same thing. We're kind of similar in many aspects. I don't know anything about Corey Wayne. All right, at all. And somebody mentioned, and by the way, if anybody is new after 2023, I don't know them. I don't know much about them. Please don't ask me about anybody really that came on after 2023. All right. I might see them from time to time, but by 2023, I was listening to pretty much no Manosphere content. All right. I probably couldn't even stomach Manosphere. I was doing 2 live streams a day. I had my kids. I had just moved to Vegas. If you're asking me anybody after 2023, I don't know who the fuck they are. I wouldn't have minded listening to them ones or twosy here and there. I was not listening to Manosphere content on a daily basis. I probably was looking at real estate content and sports content, and by the time anti-COVID content, like I don't know anybody at that point unless they came across or some shit like that. So anybody new, forget it. All right, I'm not even looking for Manosphere content. By 2022, 2023, I'm not even looking for Manosphere content. Right? Passport Bros came along at a point. Passport Bros came in as a mix of Black Manosphere and travel. So they came in as a kind of an extension of the Black Manosphere because most of them were mostly Black men traveling, coming in, kind of dovetailing off in 2022 of the Black Manosphere. Now, I had kind of talked about traveling and getting your passport prior to the popularity of the Passport Bros. Now, the Passport Bro-ish content already existed before me. Okay. That Passport Bro content existed before me. There were dudes going down into the Dominican Republic before me. Now, I didn't take any of that swag, though. I started talking about traveling and passport and in my book, Free Agent Lifestyle, without even adopting or listening to that. But I knew it was there. Now, Passport Bros became popular in 2022, but I had already been doing shit in the Free Agent Lifestyle, really 2018, 2019. Okay. So with that being said, if you came in after 2022, you probably missed the peak Manosphere. Let's be honest. If you came in after like Kevin Samuels was popular and peaked and died, I think he died 2022, maybe 2023. If you came in after that, you missed the peak Manosphere. What you got was everybody still clone, shitting on women. Pretty much that's what you got. And that's what maybe appealed to you to get you to stick around. Which means in effect, I'm right. You just got INCEL content by that point. You got the kick out cam, shitting on women. Oh, these women dumb. These women stupid. That's what you got. Right? Regurgitated talking points, shame, blame, and explain. You got everybody stealing everybody else content without giving anybody else any other props. You got people basically trying to make other people more relevant and minimizing other people. Like, oh, who's CGA? I only know Kevin Samuels. Like, so content creators begin to team up and say, we're only going to be relevant and everybody else outside of this group is going to be irrelevant. Kevin Samuels put together a group of people that basically were going to say, we're going to take all the content and claim it as our own. And then everybody outside of that are irrelevant. That's basically what you got. Right? That's basically what you got. All right. Basically just everybody just co-opting the content like they came up with it and never redirecting people to the original source. All right, that's what you started to get. And then if you spoke up about it, you was a hater. Okay. Yeah, it was the straight jacking days. Now, again, everybody took everybody's talking points back in 2018, back in 2017. But most of the time, people gave credit, right? Or you collab with a person, or that content creator would jump in the comments. And it was kind of gravy. Nobody was really talking about stealing from each other. I think the first time I thought people were talking about stealing from each other was when AMS got checked by Alan Roger Curry. All right, that was about the first time I heard people say you stole from me. So Alan Roger Curry in around 2018, 2017, when AMS became vastly popular, that was about the first time I heard somebody say you stole from me. Okay. In terms of the soundboard, I can say without a doubt, I probably had the best soundboard. Like, people use soundboard before me in sound effects, but I kind of perfected the soundboard, which people, if you are in the Manosphere and you hear people using soundboard, it could be said that was me. There could be an argument to say, now, like I said, there was people using sound effects, and most of it was edited video sound effects. I came in with soundboard during the live stream. Okay. So I might have been the first one to come in live stream soundboard. And what you're hearing now is you could go on everybody's show and they got this. You could go on everybody's show and they got this. Live streaming. You could go on everybody's show and they got this. Right? Those are all the same sound effects. Okay. So in my opinion, and you can think about it, during the live stream, I probably was the first one to kind of perfect the usage of the soundboard being like the normal part of the show. And that was around 2020. 2019, I had no sound effects. Leading into about 2020, I started to incorporate the soundboard during the live stream. Yeah, the Mexican horns. But I'm going to say, somebody said Solo 84. Solo TV 84 did have sound effects. I will give him that. He had the Don DeMarco shit going on. So he had that going on. But I think I took it to another level to where then people started to mimic it and they started to get the Stream Deck. And now everybody has my sound effects.
What's up, nigga? What's up for the weekend, nigga?
But with that being said, that was the peak of my popularity. 2019, 2020, 2021. Once I got demonetized, it was over for me. It was a wrap. All right. In fact, I'm willing to bet pretty much my numbers you see today on this channel is the same numbers that were from 3 years ago when I got demonetized, or 4 years ago, because it was a wrap for me. And people then later got demonetized. Pearl, Fresh and Fit, they got demonetized later, like 2 or 3 years down the line. But I got it kind of early, and that was after the adpocalypse. Now, why is it incels? Let me show you this. Check this out. This is the Netflix documentary. These were the people that were interviewed for Netflix documentary. The top 4 names were what they say were in the Manosphere, right? So you have a guy named Harrison Sullivan, known online as HS Tiki Taki. He's a British streamer. I never even heard of him. Not trying to say he's irrelevant, but I never even heard of him before he appeared on this show. All right. So I was quite like, who is that? Then you had Nicholas Ken D. I don't even know what that is. Sneeko, again, is an incel. Okay. He's an incel. I mean, you can't even, he just represents incel. Most of his viewers are young incels. This ain't even close, bruh. Now, is he Manosphere? No, but I think he kind of got Manosphere adjacent, and he rode the wave of Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit, but he's an incel. Now, we'll talk about HS Tiki Taki in a bit. Then you have Amaro Fuddle, which is Myron Gaines, which is, you guys know, Myron Gaines is not his real name. Sneeko's not his real name. HS Tiki Taki. These are not their real names. and we know him as the Fresh and Fit. And let's just be fair about him. He came from pickup artistry, but he also probably was an incel. All right, he didn't come through MGTOW. He's not a person that you would say really has game like that to represent himself as a pickup artist. Much of his content and popular content sounds like incel content, right? Anytime you see a clip of him, he just sounds like an incel. All right, he doesn't sound like he's polished like a Kevin Samuels, disseminating information from experience. Much of his information does not come from experience. All right, it comes from and Myron's been good at co-opting everybody else's content. People have accused him of this, and only the incels come out and say he's a hater. But really, Myron is good at taking other people's content and acting like he knows it right. I mean, this is not even a discussion, all right? This is not even a discussion, nigga. Like, he's great at that. And the way he presents it, he'll be like, I have a thought. And he'll present it. And much of what he presents and co-ops, people will say he doesn't watch you currently, but he's watched me in 2018. He's watched other people all the way from the beginning. So these are things he's remembering from 4 years ago. Okay, but he's well studied. He's well versed. He takes notes. And much of his behavior is like an incel. He sits back and he takes notes and he writes books and he can ask the right question and he can write down and keep the answer. He can investigate very well. That's like an incel. That's not a pickup artist. That's not a dating coach. That's not a MGTOW. Yeah, he like real life Chat GPT. He is, right? He like real life Chat GPT. So he's good. He's rehearsed. He doesn't have a social life. I would dare I say he's an introvert. And I would dare say that a lot of your popular content creators are introverts. AMS, he's an introvert. Angry Man, introvert. Andrew Tate, introvert. Myron, introvert. CGA, introvert. Aaron Clarity, introvert. Badger Bachelor, Joker, introvert. A lot of your most popular content creators are introverts. There are some fake extroverts that come on here, but most of them are introverts, and dare I say, trend typically on thinkers, just thinkers that think shit and then tell you it. Okay. Even Kevin Samuels is an introvert. All right, he has introvert tendencies as well. He's very quiet, effeminate. He ain't not loud and aggressive and thumping his chest. Let's see here. So a lot of them are introverts, and that's why they're able to sit here and have these thoughts and then tell you on camera, because we're more comfortable here than out socially talking about these issues in front of everybody else. So you have HS Tiki Taki, and then you had Justin Waller, who again, I'm like, how do these people become relevant as representations of the Manosphere? Ed Matthews, I don't know who that is. And they say Walter Weeks appeared on the show. I don't know. But Justin Waller also came in popular on The Dating Coach on the heels of popularity with Andrew Tate. So Andrew Tate appears on Fresh and Fit. Justin Waller is adjacent to them locally in, I believe, in that Miami area, in that South area. And then he was able to get on the show because he has the look of what was popular for that day. Andrew Tate look, the tight suit, the tight pants, the loafers, and the capri pants. This is like peak 2023, 2024 of like, this is a man. He's tall, muscular, dare I say, striking looks. You know, he has a full head of hair and a beard. So at that point, he's a little more polished. A lot of these men that became popular during this time were excessively tall. Myron, tall. Kevin Samuels, tall. Andrew Tate, tall. Donovan Sharpwell, tall. But Justin Waller, tall. These men started to look like the alpha male. So alpha male started to take precedent as well, and men who wanted to look like these guys and maybe look like they get women like these guys started to emulate them. And so a lot of incels wanted to be like these guys and have a Bugatti and wear the sunglasses and smoke a cigar and wear a suit. And, you know, you started to see that. And this is undeniable facts. Somebody mentioned Richard Cooper, although we don't talk about each other and talk to each other. What can I say about him? Richard Cooper probably came along at the right time, but much of his content was not Manosphere adjacent until he started talking about his relationship with single mothers. Okay. Now, people don't remember that, but he was doing car content. We all were doing different type of content. This is no diss. But once he started talking about, because he was good at dating single mothers. I believe he was dating a single mother currently. He had a single mother. He married a single mother. And as a result, what happened was his content about single mothers was popular, right? Started to get popular, but he still was not Manosphere adjacent until he started getting into a relationship with Rolo. And so Rolo started to see that he could stay relevant through Richard Cooper. Richard Cooper started to adopt a look that was more masculine and alpha. When he started off, he had a recessed chin and a slim beard and a bald head. Then he grew his beard out a little bit more and got a little bit more muscular. And then he looked more alpha. I mean, but we all have that. I had less of a beard. I probably looked a little bit. My voice started to look, I didn't look sad, the voice and the confidence and the presentation I had. So his relationship started to cultivate, his popularity started to cultivate when he started getting close to Rolo. And then that then led to him becoming a lot more bigger and popular. And he also is from Canada. I think what messed him up was that he could not move around for COVID. All right. Because Canada had very hard restrictions centered around COVID. So he couldn't travel. He couldn't move around and go do interviews and collabs and be on Fresh and Fit. He might have had some custody issue with his kids because he was in a bitter custody battle with his baby mama and she was apparently giving him problems. So he could not move around. All right. And if anybody you're asking me about has less than 60,000 subscribers, they're irrelevant. All right. If they only got 100,000 subscribers after 2023, don't ask me about them, please. Right? Don't ask me about them. If they became popular and relevant after 2023, don't ask me about them. I'm kind of trying to show you what's up. Niggas talking about these names and they only became popular recently. All right. They barely climb 100,000 and after 2024 when anybody can get 100,000 subs. All right. Anybody can get 100,000. Back when I was doing it, 100,000 subs was the fucking peak. 50,000, 60 was the peak. Y'all telling me motherfuckers that's just in the algorithm now. Right? Shit. Like, don't ask me about any of these people. All right. These people, I don't even know who they are half the time. And if I do, I never watch them. Jesus Christ. All right. I don't watch them. I don't even check for them. My algorithm don't even pick them up. All right. Let's see here. Let me see here. My algorithm don't even pick them up. I don't even get them in the suggestion box at all. Let me see here. Yeah, they not even in my motherfucking suggestion. If anybody want to see, for some reason, MTR is in the suggestion box. All right, but let's just show you, mainly because probably we're connected. All right, this is what now if you pull up yours and stop talking about Tom Likas, nigga. If you say Tom Likas, I'm deleting you. I'm banning you. If you say Tom Likas one more time, say Tom Likas one more motherfucking time, you getting banned. All right, Tom Likas are not even in this conversation. This is what my suggestion looks like. So my shit don't look like Red Pill. There's a Philippine video, Lionel Nation, a Raiders video. Look, I got Dr. Dre, some Filipinas, of course, Tupac. There's MTR for some reason. Filipina P, that's me. What do we got? Nick Van Exel, There's a lot of Filipinos on there for some reason. There's Myron on there. All right. And, what is this guy right here? Abba and Preach. Yeah, there's not a Manosphere content on my shit. Not a lot of man. Dane Calloway. All right, retiring the Philippines. This is what my page looks like. Okay, no red pill, no Manosphere, not very much of it. There's Zoom to Thailand because he's related to this Philippine Thailand shit. Wrestling, football. There's Sunside Shoulders in the Philippines. All right, there's wrestling for some reason. What is this? Traveling, watches. There's ABL. Okay, this is what my feed looks like. This is what my feed looks like. There's me. There's Thailand. History of air conditioning. You see any Manosphere on here? This is what my feed looks like. I don't watch Manosphere content at all. There's somebody reviewing some fucking glasses. There's some history shit. All right, football. Officer Tatum. Actual King Smith. Shout out to him. Workout shit. Wrestling. So my feed is overwhelmingly not getting any Manosphere content. All right, I'm not in the Manosphere. There's Angry Man, but I'm not watching Manosphere. There's Myron, okay, but I'm not watching Manosphere content at all. All right, throughout my day, right there. O.J. Simpson case because I seem to like that. What do we got? There's me again, my shit. Vietnam Penthouse. I'm just showing you as proof. All right, I'm not watching that content. That's not what I watch. All right, so like I said, if anybody came after 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay. ABL seems to be featured prominently. Okay. This is my feed. Not a lot of Manosphere. None. Very little of it. Very little of it. Court TV 2020. Apparently, Andrew Wilson had a debate and he got clowned, apparently. Not a surprise. He said, was that a clown? That was Andrew Wilson. Apparently, he had a debate with Candace Owens and people saying he lost. All right, I don't know. I'm seeing people say he won. All right, but there's Andrew Wilson. You know, I'm not subscribed to any of these people, bro. I'm not subscribed to any of these people. So I'm not in like Manosphere all day, all night. All right. Because for me, I'm doing live streams on it all day. I can't listen to that shit later on after I done talked about it all day. And you can see a lot of Mexicans on here. A lot of travel because, you know, I'm relocating. I'm doing a move. Not a full-time move, but I'm doing research related to it. So there's a lot of that on here recently. Messy Michonne, shout out to her. But yeah, bro, there's not a lot of Manosphere shit on mine. A lot of lings. So what do we got here? Check this out. I know you guys are super chatting, but I'm going to do this right quick. This is a dating coach. This is Owen Cook from RSD. This is him. This is the Manosphere.
My last major relationship knew who her next boyfriend would be. It was a guy who she was getting some coaching from. Actually, it was his right-hand man. She knew who she was moving on to. He was already telling her what a dick I am and supporting her dealing with that jerk Owen. I probably blew $3 million on her over 3 years. But, you know, I loved her with all my heart, kept her off drugs, would have died for her, was nice to her as I could physically be. desperately wanted to be there for the rest of my life, but she's just a little too volatile, so I didn't trust it to like take it next level. None of that mattered. So, okay.
So a lot of guys will claim that Owen Cooks knows what he's doing. He got game. I learned how to cold approach and be a pickup artist. This is their king, bro. This is who they'll say is their king. One of them.
Is this your king? Huh? Is this your king?
But these guys paid $5,000 to listen to this drunk nigga talk about he had a girlfriend he married and lost $3 million to, a hooker and blow. All right, this is the non-peak pickup artistry. This was the end of the pickup artistry, but this was a popular pickup artist in that field. All right. So this is where I look at pickup artistry as just clown shit to me. That's why I just, I'm not, again, anti-cold approach, but I got to make a stand and I have to go against pickup artistry because it's clown shit. I can't believe it. And I can't even believe the guys that are fucking talking about it half the time. I'm like, they're geeks and nerds and goofballs. Like, what the fuck? And so I got to take a stand against it. I have to be anti-cold approach because that seems to be their strategy. And anybody that tells me cold approach works and game works, and then this is the guy you're quoting, I have to just look back and scratch my fucking head. Like, what are you talking about, nigga? Like, Jesus. But he still gets good views, I believe, on TikTok or Instagram because he knows what to say, just like any pickup artist. They are salespeople, so they know how to say feminist stuff. They know how to debate women. They know how to talk over them. They know how to say the clever shit. They just weirdos, right? They just super duper weirdos and lames, geeks, and nerds. All right, and you just be like, oh Lord. But there's a lot of dudes in the manosphere that swear by that shit. All right, they swear by it, and I'm like, okay, they'll want to be like, debate me, bro. I'm like, no fucking way, bro. I ain't got no time to debate these nerds and geeks. And they'll make videos telling me I ain't got game and shit. I'll be like, wow, bro. Like, wow, nigga, is this how far the manosphere has fallen? This is how far we fallen, fam? Check this out. It says red pill rage. This is me tweeting. Red pill rage, bargaining, depression. These are the stages men get stuck in. Trying to restrict the 19th Amendment, banning OnlyFans, taking women on coffee dates forever. None of it works. The only stage that wins is acceptance. Accept what women are in 2026 and adapt. Incels go crazy. They don't want to do this. This is what the manosphere. Anytime you talk like this, although this did very decently in terms of views and likes, men don't want to get to this point. They're stuck. Yep, cheap tacos. These hoes deserve nothing. Ban OnlyFans. Repeal the 19th. Now, this is a decent stage to get stuck at. You're going to learn a lot, but you do have to graduate from this stage. And a lot of people in the manosphere today don't graduate from this. They just get stuck talking like this. And I'm like, bro, just leave me alone with that shit. I can't. Like, you guys sound pathetic at this point. And I said that what's happening is this, the space has been infiltrated by that. Most of these men today that are popular in the manosphere have never been married. They've never lived with a woman. They might not have had a girlfriend until the age of 35. HS Tiki-Taki. Oh, that's the other thing. When I researched HS Tiki-Taki, he, like some of these other content creators, have figured out how to, at one point, like Andrew Tate, come up here and spout manosphere MGTOW talking points, get attention from incels, and then sell OnlyFans to them. So Andrew Tate is like this guy. HS Tiki-Taki is like Andrew Tate, in which Andrew Tate will jump up on here and say, all women are whores. They all cheat. These bitches ain't shit. But still, and then have a OnlyFans management, right? This is the manosphere. So let's take a look at what I was able to pull up. Now, people will say that's smart business. That's hustle. That's pimping. Again, like I said, the manosphere, clown, clavicular, same thing. So I would say even to the point Fresh and Fit in whatever podcast kind of does something similar to that. They may not manage OnlyFans girls, but they provide and serve up OnlyFans girls for you to jerk off to. So the incels are going to shit on these women and later off jerk off to them. How did the podcasters benefit? Their views and support are going to come from the incels who want to fuck these women, but they can pay to shit on them. You see what I mean? Like, to me, that's what's happening. So the podcast have figured out how to monetize the incels through giving them OnlyFans girls. So if I say, like right here, somebody says some guy named CGA called this out in 2021. Facts. So what they'll do is, it says HS Tiki Taki profits from OnlyFans creators, although he does not run a standard corporate agency. In the documentary Inside the Manosphere, Sullivan was publicly called out for his hypocrisy regarding the platform. While he publicly demeans OnlyFans creators and calls the work disgusting, he actively generates income through his association with them. That's like the Whatever podcast. Same thing. That's no different from what the Whatever podcast does. If you say you demean OnlyFans creators, you call the work disgusting, the men have a reaction to it and donate to you. You generate active income through associating with them. Can you say that Fresh and Fit doesn't do that to an extent, or Whatever podcast, or any podcast like that? You can clearly say that that's what they're doing as well. Clavicular does that. And now, why people might say that's smart business, Andrew Tate did that. Andrew Tate will get up here and tell you about what hoes are, and then come up here and sell you hoes. Okay. But what the incel want is to see these women trashed. But if your biggest income comes from the woman being on the show, you are in fact serving up these incels, and you're telling them a conflicting message. These women ain't shit, but I can make money off of them and or you at the same time. Is this correct? Do you follow me? Is that confusing? Right? Is it smart? What do you think? Is that Manosphere? What do you think about that? Is that the intention of the Manosphere? Is that going to make the Manosphere better? All right. Let's take you to this real quick, because it gets a little worse, and we're going to do the super chats after this. Where are we at? The 2-hour mark? This is the Free Andrew Tate protest. Now, take a look at the guy recording. What do you see? He's probably between the ages of 16 and 20. Way too young to even really understand what's going on in the world. Certainly with women, probably doesn't have any experience with women, which is not, it's just this is an incel. I'm just going to say it's an incel. Okay. And what do we see? We got men. Look at this guy right here. Look at that. Gentlemen, I told you, and people going to say I dissed. I said, these men are marketing. They don't realize a lot of their listeners are 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Didn't I say that? And y'all said I was hating. You see that? But my audience, my main audience, my core audience is age 35 to 44. Andrew Tate, any of these HS Tiki Taki, any of these guys, rage baiters, any of these guys that are popular or extremely popular in the Manosphere, all their audience is 13 to 24, 28. And I said that back then. I'm going to say it again. I have proof right here and evidence. Because if they did a CGA motherfucking protest, there will be no teenagers there other than my son, and he not even a teenager for very long anymore. I said this, and y'all niggas said I was hating. And you have to know that a lot of these incels and these young boys be the first people in my motherfucking live stream trying to diss me. Okay. And it could be one nigga like this, anonymous. Why? They know how to use the internet. They know how to make 18 YouTube accounts. They know how to make troll accounts. They learn from Andrew Tate how to make associated accounts and hide. And I'm telling you, these dweebs being here talking shit about me, talking about Myron and hating on Andrew Tate and who's in jail facing 25 to 50 years. Dweebs, nigga. Let's play the rest of the video. All right. Ow. Yeah, I mean, Pitbull pussy face nigga. I mean, shout out to this guy right here. You know, I'm not trying to diss him, but these are the niggas that be trying to diss me in the comment section. All right, that don't want to show their face. Some bird-chested rednecks out here. I mean, we got some agents in the back. And by the way, I would say there's a good 60 people out here. There's a good 60 people out here. Now, here's the deal. Andrew Tate got 5 million followers. And you can only drum up 60 motherfuckers. Only 60 dudes was able to come out here and do some push-ups. With 5 million people following you. You couldn't get a good 1,000 niggas out there. 1,000 strong. All right, here we go. We got a bigger one here. 30 people in this particular video. This is from yesterday, I guess. So when you see now the Manosphere, this is who people are forever going to associate with the Manosphere. I hope you know, because this is the only recorded evidence of who are behind the screen. Just so you know, I want you to be aware. Historically, history will show this is the only recorded proof of who represents the Manosphere.
Free Top G! 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 Free Top G!
Oh, yeah. Sure it does.
I wanted to say, I see you all the time.
No, thanks, man.
Now, I'm not dissing these guys. Shout out to Justified Misogyny in the building. Appreciate you. I'm not dissing, but what I'm saying is none of these guys clearly have had a wife. None of these guys have had probably long-term relationships. And because of the circumstances that men are presented with in today's world, none of these guys are getting hot bitches. Okay? None of these guys are pimping hoes. None of these guys are pimping hoes degrees. None of these guys are married and divorced and raising kids. You see what I mean? This is the only recorded proof of a Manosphere gathering to this point. Outside. Like, this is the only recorded proof of what the Manosphere would look like. Now, I want you to think, is this what you wanted? Somebody said, I thought you were cool with Andrew Tate. I've never appeared with Andrew Tate. Number one. Number two, he's being charged with some heinous crimes. I'm not cool with that. So where did you see me being cool with Andrew Tate? I've never reviewed an Andrew Tate video. I never bigged him up. I never invited him to my show. He never invited me to his motherfucking show. Like when? Where? There's no evidence of this, nigga. I've never bigged him up and said I like him. I've told him. I said he created the internet, the modern day internet. I'm sorry, he created modern day social media. All right, I can say positive things. I've never bigged up this nigga not one goddamn time. He never been on my show. He never asked me. He never asked him. Somebody said the Virgin March. And 21 convention? He wasn't at the 21 convention. He wasn't at the 21 convention when I was there. And I was there 3 years in a row. He was there 0 times. All right. Niggas trying to connect me to this nigga. I don't know him. I don't know him, bruh. He never donated to my stream as far as I know, unless he did it anonymously. I never watched the stream he's ever done, ever. Ever, not one. I've never watched an Andrew Tate stream. I've seen some clips. But don't try to connect me with this nigga. All right, anyway. This nigga got 59 charges. I thought you was cool with him. I don't know that nigga. All right, anyway. All right, anyway. But let's see here. Oh, man. Just so you know, when you claim to be Manosphere, to this fucking day forward, to anybody in public, this is who they think you are. This is who they, there's no debating this, nigga. No, they're going to think, no. This is who they think you are. This is who represents the Manosphere. This is who's been the first group that has ever gone outside and claimed to be AKA Red Pill, Manosphere, whatever you want to call it. And I know people are going to say, oh, he wasn't Manosphere. He wasn't. Nobody disassociates Andrew Tate from the Manosphere. He might do it. Even I can't disassociate myself from the Manosphere because there's plenty of footage that I was affiliated. So you might say he's not, but the world does not believe so. All right, the world believes that he is the king and represents it. Let's continue. No. Take a look. Are these teenagers? Are these teenagers?
Is this your king? Huh? Is this your king?
I see some content creators in there. There's Justin Waller. I saw Byron earlier. We got Andrew Tate as a hero. These niggas can't even organize in March. Look at these niggas in the back. Look at these niggas in the back. In the blue shirt with the red hat. Look at this big fat nigga in the back behind that nigga. Fat Albert and his white twin. Look at this nigga right here in a black t-shirt. Look at this bitch nigga right here. With the capri pants, with the cargo pants. All right. These niggas all the way in the back, huffing and puffing. All right. They back in the back, huffing and puffing, trying to keep up and shit. Ooh, wait. Are these the manly men? Are these the alpha men and the manly man that you thought was behind the screen? Any of these niggas trying to come up here dissing me, nigga, you gonna be one of these niggas no matter what, bruh. Right? I don't see you niggas coming up looking like Justin Waller when you pop up on the screen. Let's continue. All right. Fat nigga right here.
Yeah.
By the way, I've been to the Black Manosphere Conclave, and it was way better than this. The Black Manosphere Conclave had way better male representation than this.
Yeah,
Geek. These niggas gonna be in here on my neck, bruh. Because these are the niggas, they done perfected the ambush, the troll on the internet. Bruh. They all disorganized and shit. And look at this skinny bit. I mean, look at this.
Oh my God, you're funny, bro. This
There go Myron.
guy's funny,
And this is security guard right here. That's a security guards.
bro. You're a funny guy, bro. You're funny.
Oh my goodness. All right, hold up for a second. What is this right here, brothers? Right?
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, yo.
Nigga, what in the world are we looking to?
To wrap you in my warm embrace, and I make it last forever,
Yes,
babe.
Grandma.
I catch a glimpse of heaven when you let me wrap you in.
What in the world, nigga? What do we got here, nigga?
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look.
Hey,
It's in a book.
what?
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, yo.
I can go anywhere.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man. Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
What the hell? Oh, my God. No way. Yeah, yeah. What the hell? Oh, my God. No way. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
It's too hot for this in Miami, nigga. It's 95% humidity and we hugging. All right, there ain't no way, nigga. Like, what in the world is going on here? Where the bitches at, nigga? I see a couple right here. 1, 2. I see 3 women, bro. I see, man, bro. See, ladies, Manosphere, bitch. Coach Gang, ladies. Y'all better come outside if some shit happened to me. All right, some shit happened to me. Y'all bitches better come out with your feet out and all that. I'm gonna need to see all of my ladies come out. Attention, all ladies, come on out. I need at least 6, 10, 15 of y'all. I'm gonna need some of my JUCOs to come out. What we doing, bro? All these niggas, it's a sausage festery out here, nigga. It's a sausage fest. Ain't no bitches out here. Y'all ain't got no women that follow Andrew Tate. It's only 5 million. What's his numbers? Nigga got 5 million subscribers, and now 5 bitches can show up in Miami. Hey guys, in Miami, bro, you in the whole Central. Where the OnlyFans hoes at? Ain't no hoes. Ain't no OnlyFans girls. Where them Transylvania bitches at? Where them Transylvania bitches at that he been having on the webcam? All right, they silent like a motherfucker. Like, what in the world? Ain't no bitches out here. All right, here we go. There go some girls. Okay, there's another girl right there. There's a Natasha. There she is. She got her feet out. All right, they go to. Is that the girl that he was beating on the TV?
Free Top G! 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 Free Top G!
All right. Okay. All right. Somebody said approximately 30 people attended the rally. This is according to the Miami News Time. The Miami New Times. Probably was more than that. I count more than 30. I count way more than 30. I mean, but you know, they gonna underestimate. Maybe it's not 30. All right. Maybe it is 30. I'm just looking at this. All right. They're doing the push-ups. Niggas getting they bigger up their chest. All right. I'm gonna say that's about 30 men. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's more than 30. That's more than 30, bro. That ain't even close. 30 is that's disrespect. Okay, I would say there's more like 50 or 60 for sure. I mean, because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. There's 30 dudes doing push-ups. All right. There's 30 dudes doing push-ups. All right. And there's 30 niggas standing around watching them. So that's 60.
39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Free top G! 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 Free top G!
Shout out to men, man. Men need it. Uh-oh. I got one more. I got one more for you. And then we gonna do the super chats. We got one more.
DM more guys acting like a girl for me, Tate. Get all that money, nigga. Come on, guys. Let's move directions. Let's move directions away from this guy. Come on. He's spreading the truth. Your guys' king was a faggot on the internet for money.
Oh, so this is a guy, he's anti-Andrew Tate. Damn, he don't look good neither. All right, he ain't got no teeth. Oh, my Lord.
Literally all NPCs. They're all bots. Hit the Tate dance. Let's see this gay Tate dance. Let's go, guys. Let's go, faggot. Get on the ground. Get on the ground for daddy. Yeah, start bending down for me. I like when y'all fucking do this.
Okay, so he trolling. He done went out and trolled him. Why didn't he whoop his ass? Okay, goodness, this dude look crazy as hell.
All for daddy. I'm daddy. 220 pounds, my nigga was fat as fuck. I'm in freedom of speech. I can talk all I want. I can talk all I want. Freedom of speech, we're in public. Shut your bitch ass up, media man. I'm media man, quit recording. Quit.
Damn, the media dude. Okay, so all right. Man, this look crazy, bruh. Let me see if I got another one here. All right, somebody said they was out there marching. Y'all was at the million Mitch March. The Million Mitch March. Let me see here. Let me see. We got a couple more. We'll do the super chat. Do the super chats here. We got another group right here.
That's what real G's recognize real G's, man. Andrew and Tristan say, man, y'all better be doing y'all push-ups. Because you know what? We're going to do push-ups right now. Let's go.
Push-ups.
Let's go. Ha! Let's go. Ha! 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 Hey! 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 That ground is burning! That ground is burning! He's still doing his push-ups, man. Yo, this shit better go by. Yeah.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
All right, look. These niggas gonna be on my neck tomorrow. All right, they gonna be mad than the motherfucker, man. Oh Lord, bruh. All right. Oh, we got another one right here. Okay, what? Oh, this gotta be. Okay, that's AI. I almost played that goofy shit. All right, we got a couple more here. Oh, we got a girl. Is this a girl? Let me see here. All right, last night we got a girl. All right, so here we go. We're going to see. We got some bitches. Here we go right here. We got a girl. There she is right there. Let's see what she's talking about.
That's being done to these two men at a time where it's so pivotal of where the power is reminded that it's held within the people.
Yeah.
And I am part of the people. And so it's just really important. I think that our voice and our face and our signs are heard.
Wonderful. Now, the people who hate the Tates would say you as a woman are betraying your gender for being out here. Do you agree with that or no?
No.
Why?
I don't know why I would be betraying my gender when, you know, no, I don't know. But...
Fantastic. I understand completely. What would you
Is there anything specifically that the Tates have helped you with personally?
Personally, I think it's admirable that they're talking about just like mental health, just like being like strong-minded, being resilient, like going against the grain, at a time where everyone goes with the grain, and I think that can resonate not only to men, but as to women as well, through hard times or good times. And so, yeah, absolutely, and I come from a family of a lot of men. I have brothers that I...
All right. Yeah. Okay, not bad. I'll give them some credit. They got some girls. All right, now they got some girls. All right, let's do all the super chats. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for enjoying the show. Somebody said a paid protester, a airhead. Shout out to our brother here. Shout out to our brother Trey. He says, Coach, you tripping? Mitch's had a tea party on you. When they have a tea party? They had a tea party for me? All right. When do they do a tea party? All right, shout out to Quentin says, you don't mince words and give the raw truth. Thank you. It's a little bit hard to hear. Shout out to our brother Harden says, Friday night. We out here for Friday Night Live. It's very late. Oh, was that when they were after the debate? I think that's what he's talking about. After the debate. Maybe that's what they were talking about. They had a tea party. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what it was. All right, they had a tea party on me. All right, they sure did, bro. All right, they was in there, man. Fuck that nigga CGA. Fuck them. Fuck them. The therapy session with Myron and Andrew Wilson and Rolo and them and Michael Surtain. Shout out to our brother Manny says, he says right here, he says, Scallywag says, 100% on the money. Can't deny it now. It's so obvious. These men tune into the show to gleefully crap on women. That's why they attack you. Keep up the good work. Sorry for fucking up your name, but that's a sponsorship. You can't deny it. The whole appeal for men today is shitting on women. Now, when I do a show, yes, my thumbnail is women. That kind of appeals to the people in this niche. But I'm really telling you about what to avoid and how to get around them, how to navigate and how to understand them and how to deal with reality and adjust. I done fucked around. I didn't say your whole name. Nigga, like I didn't sponsor you and you done fucked it up. All right, anyway. Sorry, my bad. It's late. I'm not doing a show tomorrow. But as you can see, that's the appeal. I done sponsored you, nigga, and you fucked me up. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to our brother James. He says, I agree. After 8 long years in Las Vegas, I just got a spot in Calabasas. I'll keep my Vegas spot, but I'm never living here full time again. He says the weather sucks and the JUCO sucks. Yeah, I mean, because, well, me and you done ran through the JUCO in Vegas, and I think we done peaked out, right? Because I know how you move and who we kind of had some similar JUCOs, and we done peaked out at Vegas. Like, I can't even Vegas JUCO no more. I can't JUCO in Vegas. Now, I try to get some new girls that might pop up, but I can't JUCO in Vegas. Like, I gotta leave the country and shit. I gotta leave the country. It's like, but he then went back to Cali. Cali might be more expensive, but you know what they say, you get what you pay for. He done moved to Calabasas. Now you in there with the Apex Predators instead of these goddamn. Yeah, man, I done peaked out at the JUCO in the United States. Like, I kind of know it. It is what it is. I peaked out, and it's what it is. I still know how to run the shit. But I'll be like, all right, I'll just take a first class flight and wear that ass out over there. And I still got some shit over here, some normies, a couple of JUCOs, a couple of regulars. All right, but Vegas is not what you think it is. Vegas is kind of fucked up. Vegas is not what you think it is. Anybody that be like, they got fine chicks in Vegas. Vegas is fucked up. It is a fucked up place to be. There's a lot of people that come and go. There's a lot of people that are, what they call transients, cranks, enhancement talent, OnlyFans girls, strippers, prostitutes. finessers. You might be able to every now and then pull like a decent chick, but she ain't gonna stay on the JUCO very long. She gonna be in and out. But it's mostly like somebody said the Vegas got the best girls. Bro, these girls are no. Guys, don't ever believe Vegas got the best girls. Nigga, anybody that says that ain't never been outside of Las Vegas. Right? They ain't never been outside of Las Vegas. If you claim in Vegas got the best girls, dude, they got some hotties and some baddie bitches, but most of the time they gonna be kind of washed, you know, bitches with raspy voices, tattoos on their legs and thighs, strag. None of these bitches will ever be Miss Universe. Right? There ain't, bruh. Hell no. Vegas, no way, bruh. I done had the top notch bitch at the Vegas and the bottom bitch. I done had the woman at the top in Las Vegas and the woman at the bottom. And all of these women, no. I done had the baddest bitch in Sapphire, the baddest bitch in the strip club. I done had them, yeah. I've had low rungs, passer throughs, bitches that came from LA for the weekend to work, hang out, chicks from Oklahoma City passing through. Ain't no way Vegas got the best chicks. There ain't no way. Do not come out here for women, bro. You want to come out here for some hoes? This the best place. And these women are corrupted. Vegas women are corrupted. These are corrupted, evil spirit, not evil spirit. Well, they call it Sin City for a reason. Sin City. These are demons. They're like, and I ain't shitting on them, but like the average woman that grew up in Vegas and went to high school in Vegas is corrupted. Corrupted. Like if she grew up in Vegas, like this is a red flag to me. If a woman grew up in Vegas and went to high school in Vegas, red ass flag. I'm talking about bright red. Because most of the time she didn't never leave Vegas. She went to high school in Vegas. I mean, bro, Nevada has one of the worst public schools in the nation. The nation. And all these women are just, they can't wait to be hoes. Right? They can't wait to be hoes. Like they got hoeing around them. None of these bitches going to the Ivy League. Most of them don't have a plan in life but to do meth and ketamine and coke. Half of them going to start stripping at some particular point. They all going to get loitering charges at a hotel casino or using a fake ID when they're 16 to 20. If they come to UNLV, they going freshman year, they going to get a trespass or they're using a fake ID. They can't avoid it. They're going to hit the streets. They're going to be on Fremont. They're going to hit the boulevard. Them bitches going to work and pick up a job late at night at the casino. Like, they going to hoe a little bit. They going to shake ass. They going to get a pimp. They going to have something pimp on them. I'm talking about low grade, low expectation. None of these women got low expectation. It's hard to find good women out here in Nevada, in Vegas. And I call them desert rats. They're desert rats. Like these are like the low, no matter what race they are. No matter what race they are. Black, Mexican, white, Asian, lowest class of all the terrible. And I ain't even just trying to shit on them. Low class. Like they're low class, low expectations out of life, low class. Let me see here. Desert rats. Now, are they cool to hang out and cool to fuck on and all that? Yeah, but I lived in Orange County, man. My expectations is my expectations of what a woman is and how they present in life is completely fucked up. All right. Orange County presents a woman that can be high class, highly educated. Sometimes they might be airhead and dumb, but they come from good families. Vegas people come from fucked up families, poverty, lower middle class, low expectations out of life, drifting. Them bitches don't go to school. They start working at Walmart. I mean, turning tricks on the weekend. Because when almost any Vegas woman at some particular point gonna turn a trick. And anybody's hanging out with girls that are in Vegas saying he ain't hanging out with hoes, lying. It's a flat out lie. If he says he's hanging out with girls, but they don't sell pussy, lying. And they're attractive, flat out lie. Flat out lie. Anybody that say they in Vegas and they hang out with hot bitches that don't sell pussy, they lying. This is the place to sell some pussy. So all girls at some particular point will figure out how to shake a leg when they'll go down a Boulder Highway. Them bitches will be down there off of over there where the New Orleans hotel is. They eventually gonna hit a track. All right, they gonna be out and walk a carpet. All right, they gonna walk a carpet one night, nigga. They just gonna be down bad and just be like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna hit a carpet. They gonna hit one once, at least once. At least one time. There ain't no way around it. Like they can't not hit a carpet. They cannot not hit a motherfucking. They gonna meet a pimp. They gonna meet a pimp, and a pimp gonna put their ass on a blade at least once and pimp on them. A boyfriend pimp. That's if they. It's unavoidable, nigga. It's unavoidable. They gonna be an atmosphere girl. They gonna motherfucking try out for the motherfucking Circus du Soleil. It's unavoidable. Shout out to our brother Brown Sugar Babe. He says things have been downhill after he met with the Notorious one. Salute to you, T.O. Gregorio. And he's talking about motherfucking Andrew Wilson. Andrew Wilson. And he says, Elliot Hulse said to her stronger. He says, AMS said, get on your purpose. Oh, I think Elliot Hulse said to get stronger. AMS said, get on your purpose. Coach Red Pill had a philosophy. These youngsters have maggots and weak men to look forward to. 100%. Shout out to you. And somebody says they gonna be a poolside bartender. They all gonna try out to be a poolside bartender at some motherfucking hotel, pool, or day club. Right? They all gonna be a day club pool bartender. They all gonna be a bartender at one of these motherfucking strip mall casinos. Like, it's unavoidable, nigga. It's unavoidable. They all gonna work a shift between 11 p.m. and 8 a.m. They cannot avoid this shit. This is all Vegas women, nigga. They all gonna go to the NBA motherfucking summer league and get a train ran on them. Like they're gonna do one. They're gonna do one of these. One of these. They cannot avoid it. They all gonna be up over there at the motherfucking the pinky ring. They all gonna be at Dre's at some particular point. They all gonna be at motherfucking Omnia. It's like it's unavoidable, bro. They like, especially if she's somewhat attractive. Even the women that are halfway attractive gonna be out there on Backpage, Craigslist, on motherfucking Sugar Book. Some of them gonna do weed and coke, all while having a regular job, personal trainer. It is crazy, bruh. So any dude, and I know who you talking about. There's a guy out here. Yep, they all gonna be on Trish at some particular point. They gonna hit that blade and get out that bind, and they gonna be on and off, on and off. Pull it up. They all gonna have a motherfucking trespass hovering around the goddamn casino tables. Look it up. If they're somewhat attractive, please. So anybody else saying they're running around Vegas and they're with attractive women, and these women date dudes that don't pay for sex, they lying, bruh. Lying. In Vegas, please, bruh. Please miss me with all that shit. But there's a dude telling you this shit on the internet. I'm like, man, what? I've been in Vegas this is going on year number 5. I done seen it, nigga. There ain't not many of these bitches that's highly attractive that ain't been in the VIP section, that don't, please, bruh. Unbelievable. That's like dudes that go to Thailand and say, I didn't pay not one woman. You went to Pattaya, Thailand, and you didn't pay for nan pussy when you was there. You were there 6 days. You didn't buy now one piece of ass. Now, I got to see it. You got to show me, bro. You're going to have to show me. All right? Show me. Because I've been to Pattaya. I've been. And don't tell me you was pulling bitches in 808. Because let me tell you, the women at 808 sell box. So she might have gave you some free pussy. You might have left with some gonorrhea. But the women in 808, trust me, I've been there. The women that be in 808 are the bar girls on their day off or after they get on their day off. And just so happens that a lot of dudes take the girls from the bar to 808. Right? Now, like I said, I'm not saying it's not possible that you got away from the shit, but you're going to have to show me, nigga. Show me what you was doing, who you was doing. And if she if she didn't sell boxing, you got her. Like, I mean, bro, like, stop. All right, let's just be real. Let's be real for a second. Let's be real. It ain't like you talking to somebody that ain't been around. Let's be real for a second. Same thing with the Philippines. Now, Philippines, you have a better chance of finding regular girls. But this is how the Philippine works. Shout out to Big Joker says, I hate to say it, but I've always thought Vegas people as the low-life offspring of the losers and gambling addicts that bet their whole life on black. And even the guys ain't that good. All right. Yeah, Vegas people are just weird. All right. Weird dynamic. And it's only getting better because a lot of people are coming in transient outside from Vegas. So you're getting more regular people. But let me tell you about the Philippines. This is how the Philippines work. Okay. The Philippines works like this. There are extremely poor women. There are women that are highly conservative. Like they come from families. They can't sell pussy. Right. They got to hit a relationship. But those women also could have got married young and could be a single mother and you not know it until it's too late. All right. Because a lot of women are single mothers and they're young. All right. And you might dated her and she never brought up the fact that she had a kid. She never brought up the fact that she had a previous husband that dipped on her. So you got that, but they're highly conservative. They can't really make their family name bad. So they'll present regular. They'll work in a call center. They'll go to a job where they dress up. But some of them women sell pussy on the side. Like they cannot. In the Philippines, one of the problems is because the wages are so low, like they got to go out there. They got to go turn a trick. They got to get on the sugar daddy app. They got to get on Pina Love. They gotta meet a dude on a hotel on the way home. Now, I don't know what percentage does, but if you look it up, Philippines has a higher percentage of women who sell pussy in the world. They have the highest percentage because they all kind of make a way. So you might not look at her as a hooker. She's not on the street. She not like, but they kind of mix that in. They kind of mix it in and be like, all right, I'm in school. I got to try to go make a way. The girls got to make a way. The guys don't work. Men don't work in the Philippines like that. There's not a big pay gap between men and women. In fact, the women pretty much out earning, out working the men. So there's that group of women that are conservative, but they kind of make a way. They'll do one or two here and there. All right. While they're in school or while they're coming from work. All right. They'll have a part-time job and they'll meet up with dudes here and there. Then you have the women that are completely just out there on the blade and Makati. But also, those same women end up being wives to foreigners. They'll end up being wives to Filipino dudes. Filipino dudes know that the women do this. Like, that's a part of it. It's a part of it. Some women will be like, they won't do it at all and completely like, we're not going to do it at all. They won't do it at all. But are they attractive? No, they're not going to be the most attractive women. Then you have the women that date foreigners almost exclusively. All right. Where their whole aim is to get a foreigner. And that's a very small percentage of women. But their whole aim is to get a foreigner. So any foreigner, like not any, even if she's highly attractive. Dude, I'm going to tell you, man, I wish I had this scene and I don't want to do it. But when I was at this hotel in Makati, I came in, checked in. I stayed at this hotel like 5 times, or at least 4 times. I stay at 2 different hotels. I stay in BGC mostly, but then when I'm moving around and I want to change, I'll go to this hotel in Makati. This lobby, right around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you see all the foreign guys coming down the elevator. And then downstairs is waiting their Pina that they ordered up or they meet, or that's their girlfriend that they are coming back to see and leaving their wife at home. You come down and right about 8 o'clock, 8:30, the Pina's dressed up. She dressed up. She got her little Filipina heels, and everybody off to where they're going. They're going to dinner. All right. And most of the time, the girls are between the age of like 20 and 25, 26. That's really about the age. Maybe there's some older ones, but those older ones are doing a little bit different. But it's like a factory. It's like a factory. All right. You see them, the American do it. Then like really from like 8 o'clock to 10:30, 8 o'clock to 11, they coming in and out with their girl going up the elevator and down the elevator, and them bitches jumping in grabs, going back home. That shit is, man. And you see the girls doing it, they don't look like hookers and prostitutes. These be the girls that dudes posing in pictures with saying they got it for free. And that's why I'd be like, man, but can you get free punani out in the Philippines? Yes. Them girls highly easy to manipulate and trick out of some punani. But you kind of feel bad because they're very nice. There's even the finesser girls in the Philippines are nice about it. They're completely nice. They be like, oh, thank you, Po. All right. You're the best, Po. And they'll tell you a story, a heartwarming story about they got a kid or they got this going on or they in school or they'll tell you a nice story and shit and give you the whole feminine treatment and let you motherfucking dominate them, spank them, and unfortunately go raw, nut in them, cream pie, give them gonorrhea. Right. The thing is, they super nice about it and they get easily to take advantage. All right. So you can give them, here's $85, leave, get out my face. And oh, thank you, Po. Then there's the ugly women that don't have a chance. So, dudes be out here saying they getting it for free and they hella ugly. But dudes will be like, I'll be out here dominating them and showing them my masculine frame. No, you just white. You just white. You're just a white guy. You're just a white guy, and she gonna go belly motherfucking up. She's just gonna go boom. You're just a white boy, or you're like a muscular black guy. And that pretty much was it. You didn't have to say nothing or do nothing more than that. It was meow time. Right. But dudes be like, she really liked something about me, and she really was feeling me. Yeah, nigga, you was a white boy. You was a white guy. She was going. All right. She was going for nothing less than a cup of coffee, nigga. And most of the time they know you're going to be generous and at least order a grab, nigga. You was going to order them a grab. You was going to give them a sandwich, nigga. You was going to feed them. You was going to get a cup of coffee, nigga. She was going to get some motherfucking. Eventually she knew she was going to get something. A little something. And a little something go a long way in the Philippines, nigga. A bag of rice. You could just bring everybody a bag of rice for Christmas, nigga. And that shit going to go a long way. Right. All right, these women in the Philippines ain't trying to stick you for like $500. They trying to stick you for $85 to $100 in a sandwich and some leftovers, nigga, and a bag of rice, nigga, some corn on the cob, and dudes will be like, and I didn't pay, nigga. What? Like, bro, she went for a motherfucking. She was at a coffee shop and was cool in the motherfucker. She was like, that was it. They ain't trying to stick you for no 100, 200, 300. No, really like 200. They ain't trying to stick you bad. So a guy that says he didn't pay, trust me, he paid what was significant for that woman. She got something. And that was good enough for her, and got clapped, and was able to lay in bed with a white guy or a black guy or whatever was. Right? Trust me, she got something. It was not free per se. Now, if you're able to dick them down real good, then they'll keep coming back, and they'll be very, very relatively small amounts. Birdseed. But taking girls shopping and all that, you don't need to do that in the Philippines. You could do it if you want, but it's almost unnecessary. Now, Thailand. Somebody said I was in Thailand, thought I was pimping until I realized they were freelancers. Freelancers is a big thing. When I was in the Philippines, there was this lady at a bar. And the older freelancers that's an interesting thing. All right. Yeah, you don't got to trick big in the Philippines. You do not have to trick. Like, not like that. Take them shopping and buying handbags and shit. Like, nah. Like Panama, nigga, like you ain't got to buy them phones and all that. And now in Thailand, people will do that. It's not necessarily, but people will do it. But the older freelancers, the women that are 30 and 30 to 40, their game is sit at bars. They'll go to a hotel roof bar, and they'll pull out a laptop and they'll act like they're working. They're dressed like they came from work. They came right from the call center. And they'll be at the bar just chilling. And it's not like a bar, not like a nightclub bar. It'll just be like, okay, they serve food and drinks. And they just sitting there chilling. They'll be laughing and sniggling with you. They won't even interrupt you. You'll kind of just look at her and be like, whose motherfucking grandmama is this? All right, whose mama is this? And she'll be just nice. She'll look like she's coming from work to do a little bit something on her laptop. She don't be out here, hi, do you need a drink? Do you need a date? Just chilling. Just chilling. You'll spark a conversation, maybe talk it out. And she'll be like, yeah, come sit over here. Let's have breakfast. Let's have lunch and let's have a drink or whatever. And it'll just be, and then all of a sudden, it'll seem like you're getting somewhere with her. And then it's like, damn. And she's like, you staying at the hotel? Yeah. And you'll be like, where are you staying? Oh, I stay in Makati. I stay over there in Taguig, or I stay over there. And she'll act like, oh, I work. I got kids. I got this. And then all of a sudden she'll be like, yeah, I got a room, or I'm waiting to check into my room. I'm thinking about staying here. I'm passing by, I'm from the other province, but I come here to hang out, but I haven't checked in yet. My bag's down. They're holding it downstairs. And you're like, oh, cool. Well, you can come to my room. And she's like, oh, really? I can come to your room and stay? Yeah, you can come to my room and hang out and whatnot. And you're like, easy peasy. Got it. You get her in there. You walk into your hotel room, and she was like, oh, I have to tell you something. I have to tell you something. I'm a freelancer. You're like, God damn. And she'll look like somebody's mama. Not the best shape, not the worst shape. He says right here, what they doing in Shangri-La. And then she's like, but it ain't that much. It's only $85. It's only $60. It's only, damn. Gotcha, nigga. Gotcha. And you like, man, I'm about to pay this 36-year-old mama for no pussy. But she right there. She right there. You like, well, all right. I have a good heart. She's like, well, I do this and I have a business on the side and I've been struggling lately and it's off season and rainy season. And you're like, well, I suppose you ain't a bad looking woman. I suppose. All right, bend over. All right. You're like, it's here. It's only a couple of dollars. I'm helping the nice woman out. Fuck it. All right, yeah, why not? All right, I'll do this in between my next girl or whatever. All right, whatever. He said my water buffalo break my ankle. All right, man. And they'll just hit you with a sob story. And it's like, it gets tough out here. The economy, gas going up. And I just need a little bit of something. I just need a little bit. Just a little, just a little something. Man, and you like, damn, I'm about to take somebody mama to the woodshed. All right. Shout out to No Government Name. My theory on why the manosphere or the gayosphere is terrified of mentioning CGA is because he gives them solution that men with no BS and low life experience to back up. Father, heterosexual, married, divorced, upright citizen, loved and respected by society, not a criminal, women and children, unlike the manosphere predators. Shout out to you. Yeah, man. It's a cold, evil world, ain't it? Shout out to you, man. Thank you, No Government Name. I made you wait to say that one. But yeah, it's a they got it figured out. But don't listen to a guy sell you a dream about not paying in Southeast Asia. Now, can a dude run through girls in Southeast Asia and not pay? Absolutely. But it's a full-time job. Shout out to Joel Chapman says Andrew Wilson debated Candace Owens. She made him look like a bitch. Can't believe people still take that Mitch seriously. Shout out to you. All right. Shout out to you. Thank you, brother. And I got to review the debate, so I got to see what happened over there. And the other thing is these women to get pregnant on you in the Philippines because it's easy to go raw. Like, because Filipino women are nice. Like, these are not like scandalous girls. Even a woman that's a professional over there, a professional freelancer, they're not scandalous. They kind of do it very nicely and kind of like, well, you know, she broke. All right. So no matter how much money she getting, she broke, she gonna give it to her family and her boyfriend. But they're very nice. So what happens is you end up like donating and doing a little shit like that. But dudes are like, but the other thing is they get pregnant, they fall in love with you. You got to watch out for false allegations over there. If you're staying over there for a long period of time, they get hooked on you. You're like a source of survival to them. Even if you're not paying, you're a source of survival. You're a come up for their family, meaning that like you're about to support not just her, but her family. The women take that money and they give it to their family. That's how the Filipinos work. Filipinos take their money and they support like 8 people. So once you get to that point where you're not paying, they take leftovers to their family. They're going to find a way to get something out of you. Like it's something. They played a long game. They get pregnant. Like, it's like what women used to do in the 90s before feminism got a hold of, like before this wave of feminism. People don't remember this. If you're old enough, women used to get pregnant on you. They used to, what do they call it? When they live in your house and they just move in on you and you don't know about it. Like, what is that called? It begins with an S. But women will get sprung on you. They'll move in on you. They'll have sex. They'll lead with sex. They'll claim to love you. They'll get pregnant. Baby trap squatters. Yeah, women, they'll squat on you. They'll be like, hey, let's just make this a thing. And you're just like, well, okay. And then it seems like free sex. And then all of a sudden she'll get pregnant. This is what women used to do before the 1990s. Like, and that's why I always say that dating in Southeast Asia is like dating in America in 1990. That's the best way I can explain it. You go to Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, the Philippines, dating over there. That's why it appeals to older guys. That's why it appeals to men with money, because they're getting the same thing where the woman just latches on and appeals to your weaknesses and can speak to you and stays close, kisses and hugs and cuddles and nests and strategically long game plans on your ass. And then the little money you're paying doesn't seem like you're paying. It seems like, but then all of a sudden you're hooked, roped in, baby trapped, and then boom. All right. And that's why they have a high amount of single mothers over there, because niggas be nutting on their ass, nutting on them and dipping. Because they are relatively, I would say, easy to get. I mean, in terms of getting them where you need to get them. They're easy to get. They're easy to kind of get in bed. They're easy to kind of manipulate and move around. But sooner or later, they had this apparently a white dude over in, I think, South Korea or China supposedly knocked up like a whole bunch of women. Okay, because Asian women tend to be they still have like a docile approach to them when they're in the early phases of the relationship, as opposed to American women. And somebody said, KT King, notice the haters didn't click on the link. Facts. Well, American women seem to be kind of like, they're numb to men in relationships and women. Women in the Philippines are not numb to relationships. They're not numb to cold approach. They're not numb to conversations. They're not numb to romance and love bombing and sex. They're not numb to it. American women are numb. So we're kind of just like, they're very indifferent. And if the relationship don't work, the bitch will be like, well, anyway, move on and she'll go on. Whereas in the Philippines, it's not like that, especially if you're an American or a foreigner. They're very in tuned and really, the negative part about it, there's some negatives, man. It ain't all positive, please. Yeah, they too friendly. You got to watch them. A lot of men come and go and in town. Sometimes they sneak around on you. So it's very tough. And this is also Cambodia, my experience in Cambodia. This is also my experience in Vietnam. It's also my experience in Thailand. That's what it is. That's kind of what the culture is. So it's kind of like a throwback to dating to 1990. But, you know, but I'm not telling you to go over there because it's not for the weak. All right. You can get in a lot of trouble. You can get in a lot of trouble over there. You can impregnate women. The women can fall in love with you. They can say you did something to them. Domestic violence. Like if y'all want to get revenge on a woman and you get physical with her, nigga, you go into Filipino jail or to Cambodia jail. They move in on you. They make it so that you can't really deny them. Like, okay, shit, this woman gonna let me fuck her to death, right? And you will fall in love with that and spend all your money and all your pension will be gone in 3 years, and you'll be coming back on a plane. Luckily, if you lucky, on a plane with no socks and shoes, with shoestrings holding up your pants. They will clean and air your ass out. Nigga, you will have bought a house over there in her name, and she'll steal that bitch from you and fuck a poor Filipina nigga. Be fucking up, banging a poor Filipino nigga. All right. And you be over there, I got to go back home for a couple of months and clear out my visa. I got to go back home and check on my sick mama. I got to go back home and check on my property that's been up in, I got to winterize my property. You go back home for 3 motherfucking months. Nigga, you come back, she done sold your car, she done sold your house. Nigga, she done took your kids. Nigga, she done moved the family in. Nigga, took all the shit out your name. Nigga, she done fucked the security guard. Right? She done fucked one of them security guard niggas. Right? Because really, they want to be with Filipino niggas. Like, at the end of the day, shout out to No Government Name BH says, after our bonus CGA, let's go. At the end of the day, they're going to be loyal to their own. All right? You got to know that. Even if you're the first foreigner or you're the 50th foreigner, they're going to be loyal to Filipinos. Even broke Filipinos get more. They going to give them that little shrimp dick. Like, they want your big dick, American dick. All right, but they loyal to Filipinos. So if you turn your motherfucking back, it might not be a foreigner, all right, but it might be one of these broke ass Filipino niggas blanking her back. All right. Saying that's my brother and shit. Oh, that's my brother. That's my brother-in-law. And that's her husband. And that's her motherfucking nigga she cheating on with. So that's my gay best friend, Filipino nigga. And he breaking her fucking back when you ain't looking. She hanging out. I'm going to hang out with my brother. All right. And then guess what? My cousin, all kind of shit. I watched some shit like this happen. And this is not just the Philippines. All right, it's not just the Philippines, it's all areas outside the United States that are considered developing nations. All right, so this goes to Costa Rica, this goes to Colombia, this goes to Brazil, this goes to Thailand, Philippines. It's the same game. It's the same game if it's a developing nation. And to define a developing nation, Dominican Republic, same thing. A developing nation, Eastern Europe, same thing. A developing nation is anywhere where they riding a moped in sandals and there's a kid on the front, back, or in the middle of the moped with no helmet. All right, this is a developing nation or a motherfucking third world country. I don't want to say third world because that kind of seems like poverty, but anywhere where a moped can be ridden in sandals with 3 and 4 niggas on it and kids on the back, that's a developing nation. All right, this is motherfucking. So anywhere that you can do that is a place that this can happen to you. 6 niggas on the moped, and you see a woman dressed up in her work clothes on a moped, looking like Speed Racer. All right. Anywhere that this happens, this can happen to you. I saw, I think, a documentary. I can't remember where it was, if it was Colombia or Brazil or Costa Rica. American dude went down there and he would go back and forth. He then fell in love with this woman and got her a house. The woman had a kid, of course, because single motherhood is big in all of these developing nation areas. It's just women don't have nothing to do. It's boring all the time, and they fuck and they get nutted in, and then they have a baby very young and shit like this. Like, they can become single mothers like that. But what happens is, so he went back and forth, fell in love with this girl, this woman. She had a teenage daughter. Teenage daughter didn't put her up on game, and she also had a brother. So the brother moved into the house. And so when the American was there, they would, I think they wasn't even fucking each other or something like that, or sleeping in the same bed, or they would sleep in the same bed, and she would go sleep on the couch because the daughter was there, right? She used the daughter as an excuse. And so what happened was the woman ended up drugging him. He catch like Guillain-Barré. He got really sick. And then the family tried to find him and shit. And he came back sick and all fucked up. And what they found out was the brother was actually her husband. The brother was actually the husband the whole time. But because of how developing nations are, the men are down bad. And they got to prostitute their wives and girlfriends. And they got to see their daughter sell pussy. And like, they can't do it because in Colombia, the women are the breadwinners. The women are the prize. Like, if you go to any of these developing nations, the woman between the age of 16 and 24 is the motherfucker that can make the most money. 16 to 30, she makes the most money. She can make the most money because she can date foreigners. She can date. And then abuela, all of them, they live off of her. She is the prize. When I go to Panama, them girls do what they do, and the mother and father be on the line. Hey, did you get some money? Could you deposit some money over there? Like, it's something else, bro. And guess what? That woman can get married to a dude with a bag, and change the whole trajectory of the family off. So older women are not valuable in these areas. Older women are not valuable. In America, these older women try to say they valuable and they got a job. Older women in these areas are not valuable. Like, they're experienced, but they know how to do shit, but they're not the cash cow is the younger woman. She always going to have the best opportunity to change the trajectory of the family or support the woman or shit like that. So that plays Jamaicans. That plays a part in all developing nations. All right. It's the real. It's the real. Yeah. Mom and grandma watch the kids, and then she out there and dating around. And then by the time you find out she have a kid, it's too late. You're in there. You got a relationship with her, and you be like, how come you never at home with your kid? Mom and grandma watch. Nanny watch the kid. So she could just keep moving around and living her life. They don't be just strapped down at home like, damn, with kids. All right. They able to have people watch. And so they can live their life as normal and date and try to find relationships and go outside and have social life. So, and get Western Unions from niggas. Right. Western Union. Every country I've been to has this. All right. Austria has this. Czech Republic has this. especially with the Ukrainian war going on. A lot of them Ukrainians went to Prague and places like that. Costa Rica has this. Colombia has this. Brazil has this. Cambodia has this. Thailand has this. The Philippines has this. Vietnam has this. Let's see here. Dominican Republic has this. Mexico has this. When I was in Germany, I would say Germany, yes, because I got story. Dude, go to CoachRedGothamsLocals.com. Yo, I got stories. I got story. When I was in Germany, man, bro, I had this, man. When I was in Germany, in Munich, man, I got a story about this 19-year-old girl. Man, she worked for her family, did human resources. The mom knew that she was at the JUCO and the dad didn't know. I swear to God, bro, I was listening to this shit like, and she was one of the most beautiful women I ever been with. She was gorgeous, tight body and all that shit. And she was like, oh, yeah, I work my family business. My father, it was the father's family business. The mom was divorced and lived, I think, in Berlin or somewhere out in Frankfurt or some shit. But she lived in Munich and worked in human resources for her dad. But her mom knew that she dated older man, and the dad had no clue. I was like, bro, man, it's over. So I was like, ain't no way. So, and it's, man, I'll tell you, bro. I tell you, man, I learned a lot. I learned a hell of a lot, bro. But join locals, because we talk about this on a daily basis. And to be honest with you, I also think American women do the same thing. You just don't know it. They protect it a lot. Like your mama was kind of doing this, but you never knew it because you was at your grandmama's house eating motherfucking Oreo cookies and shit. And you had no clue. Eating popcorn, and your grandma was like, come cuddle with granny. And your mama, what mama doing? Mama at the club shaking a leg. Mama making away. Mama making away. Mama got a date. Mama got date night. And then you come back, mama got the whole refrigerator filled up with food. Ooh, way. All right, mama got the whole cupboard filled up with food and macaroni and cheese and all kind of hot dogs and shit and pork and beans. Nigga, you like, God damn. He said pork and beans next night, crab legs next night, nigga. We got crab legs. Mama, we eating good. Baby, you deserve it. All right, you like, oh, man, mama, this is good food. All right, you got steaks and shit. All right, last night you was eating pork and beans and chopped up hot dogs. Next day, mama went to the grocery store. All right, you eating out. She like, let's eat out. Let's go to Sizzler. We going Sizzler. We going Sizzler. All right, you going to Sizzler tonight, nigga. She like, damn, mama took me to Sizzler. God damn, we must be doing good in life. Mama done got a raise at the job. And you didn't even know the whole goddamn time. All right, she took a date that night. She done got a bind fixed. She done got a bind fixed. And it's all good, ladies, if you didn't get out there and get your bind fixed. All right, we love it for y'all. And by the way, nobody pulled up. That's a damn shame. I was on here for an extra hour and a half. I'm not streaming until Monday. I'm out here bullshitting. None of these bitch ass niggas in the Manosphere pulled up. Can you imagine that? They talk that shit in the comment section. They talk that shit on the internet. They trolling me in the comments in the chat. They trolling me on Twitter. They trolling me and nobody pulled up. This is why I don't respect the Manosphere. Nobody pulled up on behalf of y'all bitch ass Manospherians. Nobody pulled up and showed they goofy ass face. And they never do. All these content creators, like, I didn't know he was doing a call-in show. They knew. Unbelievable. Shout out to the coach gang. Let's get out of here, brothers. Let's have a day. Let's have a good weekend. Peace.